Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you who have joined us today. Thank you for taking your time. I know it's Saturday and it's a time for family time. So thank you very much for taking some time off to join us for our pre-departure briefing. I think without wasting much time, I think we should start off the session soon. As you can see from the chat box, please feel free to post any of your questions during the session, and we will definitely answer each and every questions at the end of it, okay? First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Marianne, and I am the Southeast Asia Manager for Aberystwyth University. We're based in Malaysia, and we cover the Southeast Asia region. And I would like to run a quick introduction to all of them who have joined, all the panelists who have joined me today. So we have my colleagues, Rishka and Dashini, who most of you would have met and have spoken to previously in regards to your application. So they are also both alumni of the university. And then we have Miss Ainul, Miss Nur Farhana, and Miss Sarah and Miss Sarah Ching, who have, we have Ainul, Nur Farhana, and Sarah, who is now currently in Aberystwyth, and we have Sarah Ching, who is now in Malaysia. They are returning students, so they would love to share their experiences with you. We also have with us today Mr. Stephen from STC Travel, who has kindly agreed to share with his information in terms of your flight arrangements, okay? So without wasting much time, I would like to start the session. So welcome once again to the pre-departure briefing for Aberystwyth University 2021. So this particular pre-departure is very, very important because you would have placed in your application, you would have received your offer. Some of you would have applied for your visa, some of you have not, some of you would have gotten your accommodation application. You would be having a lot of questions in your mind. What should I do next? What will this be done? Will that be done? You'll be having a lot of questions in your mind. We can totally understand this, and we are going to try and cover as much as we can from our knowledge over the years, okay? There may be information which we currently only have as of now, and we don't have a concrete answer, but please be rest assured that we are getting advice and we are getting information, so we would be sharing that with you from time to time, okay? So I would like to also notify that I have shared a file in the chat box. It says useful links. If you can just open it, I would like to go through that with you, okay? So out of all the participants who have joined in today, I'm sure there are parents here, and I really hope so too, okay? But I would assume all of you are students at this point of time, and I would like to tell you all, well, you all are matured students. You all are considered matured students when you come over to Aberystwyth, so you don't need much hand-holding. But again, based on the previous experiences that we have had students asking us, you know, the same things that has been addressed, okay? No problem with that, but we want you to also do some research before you proceed with the next step, okay? So this particular useful link files is for mummies and daddies as well, and the students. If you see here, there are information on your visa guidelines. There is the International Student Guidebook where you have information on orientation, induction, and all that. There is a copy of the university map for students who are looking for information on how to pay your fees, what are the links to pay, what are the breakdowns of your payment installments that is available there, your term dates for parents who are looking for students, when is their holidays, when they can fly back, and all that can be found in your term dates. Sometimes we have parents coming to us and say, I didn't know my child sat for his exams. I didn't know that they were supposed to have holidays now. So, well, you have all those dates right before you now. Okay, preparing yourself for the UK in general information. Whereas the orientation program, okay, this is very, very important for all students because you have your timetables of your orientation, your induction, how you're going to register, all that can be found under this particular link, okay? And we have just shared some general information on what are the kind of mobile networks you can look at when you are in Aberystwyth during your quarantine, you want to get your online groceries delivered. This might help you. Have a look at it, or I will leave it to our returning students to share with you, maybe some useful tips. And we also, again, no promises on this, okay? There's some food deliveries that you can contact and see when you are there. This is a very favorite question at this point of time, quarantine list. Okay, which country am I coming from? What are the quarantine processes and all that? So if you get to click on each of those PDFs, you'll be able to see what are you required to do. Meanwhile, we'll be sharing more information later. And there's also the urgent contact details. Again, we are specifying, and we've given you links for your enrollment, itineraries, finance information, accommodation payments, all these links are available. More information on your accommodation, what are the checklists, what do you need to look out for, accommodation dates. For parents who want to go to Aberystwyth, there are also contacts for B&Bs. There is also links for students who want to stay back and look at post-study work visa option. We have the link there. We have information on faith provision, careers, and just in case, the most least favorite subject will be withdrawal. So if there is information that you want to find out, all those useful links are in this particular document that I have shared, okay? So now, going through this particular pre-departure briefing, what we are going to do, again, I said, we're going to try and cover as much information as we can. You might think it's not important to you, or you might think I've already done this, I don't need to know this and all. Just be patient, because there are other students who are in the same situation, and they are just starting. So let's be together and let's go through the journey together, okay? So what we are going to do is we're going to break this particular session into 3 different areas. So you have before you leave from Malaysia, okay, or from whichever country, because I understand we have students from Philippines, we have students from Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, all right? So just before you leave your respective countries, when you arrive in the UK, that goes under arrival, and what you should do when you are in Aberystwyth, okay? So there will be this particular presentation by us, and then Stephen will be having his presentation as well in terms of flight arrangements, all right? So moving on, now before leaving, first of all of you would have received your conditional offer, and now some of you are looking at obtaining your unconditional offer. So for those of you who have not received your unconditional or not received your CAS letters or whatever it is, these are the documentations required in order for you to get your CAS letters, okay? So you should look at preparing the £2,000 deposit, which should be paid by credit card now instead of bank transfer, okay? Remember to send in your transcripts and certificates, including your English qualification, whether it's SPM or it's IELTS or it's password or, whatever English qualification that is required. Your reference letter and all has been sent. your medical check. When we say medical check, it is your TB test, all right? So we will explain to you a bit more about that in a short while. Funds, make sure your funds are in, proper channel before your visa application, all right? And also you have placed in your accommodation booking. So don't worry if you're still in conditional offer, just work on this at this point of time, get it ready. If you have any questions on these particular areas, please feel free to email us, which we will share at the end of the session, all right? Now, let's speak a little bit about CAS. CAS, which is known as Confirmation of Acceptance Studies, is very, very important for your visa application. This is basically awarded by the university to the students who have fulfilled all their conditions and have made their deposit payment, okay? So when you're applying for your visa, you are required to have 40 points in order to be granted a student visa. And 30 points out of it comes actually from your CAS, okay? So once you have fulfilled all this, the university will send you a draft CAS letter, and it contains a unique number with all, not in your draft CAS letter, but your CAS letter will contain a unique number with all your personal details, like your passport number. Very, very important. When you get your CAS letter, please make sure that your passport number is correct. If you have a passport that is that needs renewal before your time of graduation, please go and get it renewed now. Okay, do not give us passports which are due for renewal soon or 6 months before your 6 months lesser than your graduation. Okay, so you will need to provide also all your original documents, which I'm sure my colleagues Rishka and Dashni has been advising you from time to time. Okay, now for your visa application, as I mentioned, you need 40 points. 30 points comes off your CAS. The remaining 10 points is where you need to show that you have sufficient funds. Okay, you have sufficient funds in your account. Here, you will need to show that you have funds to cover your tuition fee for 1 year, plus your cost of living for 9 months. Okay, so yes, Aberystwyth's cost of living is much lesser than 9207. However, for your visa application, you will need to show them this particular amount, 9207. Okay, so for Malaysian students, fortunately, at this point of time, you don't need to officially submit your financial documentation. However, we would encourage you to save and keep the money and keep the documents just in case if there is any, if they do request for these documents, you'll be able to submit. For students from other countries, you will need to submit these particular documentation. So the funds can be in the student's account or the parent's account, or in joint account of the students and the parents' account, okay? And you will need to show that you have sufficient funds by providing a bank letter and your bank statement for a month, okay? I'm sure there's a lot more questions on this. Please feel free to put it into a chat and I'll definitely address them later, okay? There has been a slight delay. I mean, we have had students who have made their deposit payment but have not received their CAS letter. I believe most of them have received a letter from me as well to say that there's been a slight delay because the UK A-levels results has just been released. But from 17th of August, which is from Monday onwards, CAS issuance would be as normal, okay? And we will continue on issuing the CASs. In the meantime, I believe some of them have already received it as well. But if you feel there's a delay or anything like that, please feel free to get in touch with us. Now, for your CAS issuance, the latest CAS issuance date by Aberystwyth will be on the 27th of August 2021. Now, I know there will be an alarm bell ringing for some of the students who have not received their results and who might only get their results towards that date. Please don't worry. We are well aware of this. If you are having any difficulties in obtaining your results by that particular time, please do let us know so that we can inform the university. All right. So you have to let us know. You can't just assume that we would understand what it is and leave it. We have to inform the university that there is a delay due to results release. Okay. Meanwhile, in terms of the documentations required to do for your online visa application, we always tell the students, try not to do your visa application online yourself, because there are certain columns that you might not be sure of, and we will go through the visa application with you and we can guide you on what is the information that you need to put in. Okay, so please make sure that you have these documentations with you, which is your passport. Okay, passport, your current passport, also a scanned copy of it, new, and also old passports for the last 10 years. Why? Because when you're putting in your visa application, they'll ask you for your travel history for the last 10 years. You need to list them all down. So that is why it is required. So the next favorite question is, what if I don't have those passports? Please try and get your travel history information so that the reason why we ask for the old passport is so that it's easier for you to key it in. But if you can't find your old passport, please make sure you have this information, because you have to keep that in during your online application. Okay? You need to have your TB test scanned in a PDF version. You have to have your CAS letter in a PDF scanned version. And as for the costings, there is the IHS fees, which is £470 for a year. So if there are students who are going for 3 years, you will have to multiply this by 3. Okay? Your visa application, however, is only £348. That is regardless whether it's for 1 year or for 3 years. The IHS is where you need to pay £470 for 1 year. Okay? At this point of time, we would encourage all our students to apply for priority visa, which would cost about $1,240. Why? I'll explain that to you as well. We recently had a meeting with the British Council, British High Com, and VFS, and they were mentioning that due to the restrictions in terms of appointment slots and all those things, if you go through the normal standard process, it would take easily about a month or so. Whereas the priority visa, they're hoping for it to be a much more shorter period. According to VFS, it should take roughly about 5 working days. Okay? So we would encourage you to apply using the priority visa. There is also another information here which has not been added, but I think it's in the slides later, which is the documentation submission online. I'm not very sure of that. There is a cost to it, which is about 329 ringgit. But what we are trying to speak to VFS is to see whether that comes under priority visa. Okay, so once we have that confirmation, when you're applying for your visa, we will guide you through to that. Okay, and also parents, your child is applying for visa. Please make sure that they do know your details. Now is the time you should think whether you should send them to UK or not. They should know your full names. They should know when is your date of birth, both mother and father. Okay, so this is a very good time to test your kids. All right, we will do otherwise. Okay, now moving on. So this is how a sample CAS would look like. I'm sorry we couldn't provide you something with more clarity. But in general, it contains all your information on what are the documents you submitted, what are the scholarships being offered, what are the bursaries being offered, what are the payments that you have made so far. All those particular information will be there. So when you receive your draft CAS, please make sure that everything is okay, every information is correct, and then you need to reply and let them know whether it's right information or not. Okay, and then only they will issue you with your original CAS. Okay, now in terms of your medical, oh, I'm sorry, I missed out something just now. This particular costings, please do make sure that you have the payments on a credit card or debit card ready. You can't pay cash. You can't pay by any other methods. We have had students who have asked us if we can pay by debit card. You can try and make the payment via debit card, but there's no guarantee. Normally, we encourage you to pay it by credit card. Okay. In terms of your medical, you will be required to do your TB test, and you can't simply do your TB test in any hospitals, whether it's government, and only, I think in Malaysia, currently there's only about 5 panel clinics that are allowed to do this particular TB test. It roughly costs about 250 ringgit to 300 ringgit, depending on where it is. They will provide you with an X-ray and your report, and you will require a photo as well. And with this current pandemic situation, you will have to set an appointment before going over and getting it done. Previously, they used to allow you for walk-in, but unfortunately this year, I don't think so. Meanwhile, before going to the UK, we would strongly encourage you to get your eyes checked and do your dental check as well. Because if you want to do it in the UK, it's going to be very, very expensive. All right. Now, again, coming back to visa application, it will be done online. Submission of your documents will be done at VFS Global. And again, as I mentioned, there is a new link for online submission, which we are trying to find out more information so that we can share with you all. And so when you are doing a visa application, we will advise you, all right? Processing time roughly takes currently about 15 to 20 days. Again, no guarantee. And as I mentioned earlier, these are the kind of costings that you are looking at. Okay? And for your visa appointment, these are the documentations that you will have to submit. Your passport, your CAS letter, your TB test. TB test, well, it depends on which country you're applying from. So if that particular country doesn't require you to do your TB test, then fine, no problem at all. You have to do your visa online application. This is where we will guide you step by step. There are areas, you may think that it's quite straightforward, but there are areas where you need to key in some particular information. So please try not to do it on your own, and please do seek our assistance on this. We're more than happy to help you with it, okay? Then there is the checklist, which I showed you earlier. Your photo, all right? Financial evidence, again, it depends on your country, as I mentioned. For Malaysian students, you are not required to submit your financial evidence yet. However, please do get those information and keep it with you just in case, okay? So, and if the fundings are in your parents' account, so you have to submit the birth certificate to show your proof of relationship and a sponsor letter from the parents to say that they're willing to sponsor the child. So it's a very simple letter. There's no particular format. It's just to say, I am so-and-so, and I'm willing to sponsor my child's education in the UK. For birth certificate, if your birth certificate is in Bahasa, for those of you staying in Malaysia, you can actually go to JPN and you can ask for the dual language birth certificate, which I think roughly cost about 5 to 10 ringgit. All right. If you're going to go and get it officially translated, some of the official translators charge roughly about 50 ringgit a a document. All right. Now, when you're submitting all your documents, please make sure that they are all genuine and they are in English. Okay. If it is not, like what I mentioned, your birth certificate, if it is in Bahasa, please do get it translated, or you can go to JPN. If you're unsure, you check with us. We might have some information that we can share with you. All right. If you provide any false or fraudulent documents, or you try and withhold your information, especially your travel history and things like that, or criminal this thing, so there may be chances for you to be refused or even barred for making a further application for up to 10 years. So this is not a matter of joke. Okay. We would also encourage you not to purchase your travel ticket until you have obtained your visa, or get a flexible ticket that allows date changes. Stephen would be able to speak to you more in detail about this, but please do not purchase your tickets now. We would encourage you to speak to Stephen and get your flight arrangements with him, because we are trying to group all of you together to fly to the UK so that you're not traveling alone, especially at this point of time. You have at least a friend to look at, or somebody to, chat with during your travel. Okay. If there are changes to be made to your flight tickets due to cancellation or due to a delay, Stephen and his team would be able to advise you on how to go about it. Okay. So please do listen in to what Stephen has to say, and he will be able to share more information on that. All right. Okay. For this particular slide, I think I'm going to invite Sarah Cheng. Sarah, are you there? Sarah will be sharing her experience on what to pack and what not to pack. So over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Marianne. So now I'll be saying on what to bring. So study essentials are basically your laptop, your thumb drive, and your stationeries. And in terms of health essentials, make sure you bring medication, as if you have specific medication that you need, it might be difficult to find them in the UK. So I suggest bringing the essential medication with you to the UK for mild fever or headaches or coughs or diarrhea. And also make sure to bring a first aid kit, because you may need some plasters or antiseptic cream for any minor injuries that you may incur while in the UK. And in terms of toiletries, pack shampoo, shower gel, toothpaste, full-size ones, but make sure that you seal them properly, otherwise they might explode in your suitcase. Or if you do not have enough space in your luggage, you can always buy them in Aberystwyth. And also make sure you bring your face mask, your sanitizer, and also your face shield. So some arrival top tips is that make sure you have all your important documents with you in your hand luggage, so that when you arrive at the immigration, you are ready to show your passport and all the necessary information for your course and any recent bank statements to the border staff. I would also suggest to keep your cast letter in hand, just in case they might see it. And also check what you can't bring with you, which is pretty basic, such as do not bring any meat or dairy products from outside the EU, because they have very strict regulations on which type of meat can be brought into the UK. And also do not exceed your duty-free allowance for tobacco, alcohol, and gifts, because otherwise you would have to throw them away. And also you must declare any cash of more than £10,000, otherwise it might be confiscated from you. And also, if you are from Australia, Canada, or New Zealand, or Singapore, and your course is for less than 6 months, please see a border officer at your passport control to get a short form student stamp in your passport. So living essentials. The essential clothing are obviously formal wear and casual wear. So you're allowed to wear any, students dress very informally in the UK. They are allowed to wear jeans and t-shirts and jumpers to classes. And make sure to bring sweaters or any waterproof jackets with hoods, because the weather can be pretty quite unpredictable. So rain showers are expected at any time of the year. So make sure that you have a good pair of waterproof clothing and shoes with you. Also bed sheets and pillowcases, towels, clothes and hangers. If you are unable to pack these again with you in your suitcase, if you find that it would be overweight, you can always get them here in Aberystwyth at local shops, or alternatively, you can get them at UniKit Out. This is a online platform where you can order any student essential packs and you can get a 10% discount. And the website is linked down below right there. And also remember your kitchen utensils. And remember that although I know we love eating rice, but the rice cooker is not as necessary. And also previously, prior to COVID, the university did provide utensils in the kitchen, but now since due to COVID, they no longer provide any pots and pans anymore. So you could either bring yours or you could get them locally here in Aberystwyth. And you may also wish to bring some cooking spices, although bring them in small quantities. And you can also carry some essential, like pictures of your home or family and friends to keep you reminded of home, and so that you won't feel any homesickness. And as mentioned, any medication with a prescription or support letter, make sure that you check with the NHS if any specific medication is available here in the UK. And also your own laptop. If you have any problems with your laptop, you may want to go to the student support, computer support, or the university's Learning Resource Center. Also, an important thing that I would like to mention is that you would have to make sure that your laptop is compatible with the charging docks here in the UK. Otherwise, you may want to bring an adapter. So what not to pack? As mentioned, there are certain restrictions as to what food you can bring into the UK, and these include dairy, meat, and potatoes. You will find that Aberystwyth has a lot of international food stores and large supermarkets where you are able to find many ingredients available in your home country. Infant milk is okay, but it's limited to 10 kilos per person. And also remember that foodstuffs such as fish, honey, and egg products you should also bring them in small quantities. And in terms of goods, make sure that you check this website here linked below, so that you know which items to bring and which items not to bring, as they might be banned. And also keep in mind, weapons, drugs, knives, pepper sprays, indecent materials, and any counterfeit goods are not allowed. So make sure to not bring them. If you have them, you might want to dispose of them. And any photocopied books, software, music are not allowed.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for the information. I'd just like to add on a little bit to what Sarah has mentioned, especially when it comes to what are the banned kind of meat, food, and all that. So I'm sure some parents will think, can I pack ikan bilis and send? Can I send belacan? Well, yes, you can, but at a smaller quantity, and please make sure that they are packed and sealed really well, like what Sarah has mentioned. Otherwise, if the smell is too much, there are possibilities for them to make sure to confiscate it at the airport, and pack them well, okay? So don't let it be a position where the moment they open your luggage, the first thing is the smell. So yeah, so be very careful about that, okay? Thank you so much, Sarah, for that particular information. That's very, very helpful. Now, moving on to the next area, which is in terms of money and other documents. I'm sure parents especially are very, very concerned about this. We've been getting many calls. How much should I send for my children? Should I give all the money? Or what if they spend all the money immediately when they reach? What if they are partying all throughout? Can I just send a little bit? Should they open a bank account there? Should they open a bank account in Malaysia? Well, this is a good time to find out, and we'll cover a little bit more in a short while, okay? So now in terms of your money and other documentation, If parents would like to send the remaining cost of living or whatever amount of money that you would like to give your child, cash, I would encourage you to carry, just roughly about 600 to 800 pounds to last you for the month. Why? Because when you open a bank account, it's not like you can open it over a day. It takes some time. So in the meanwhile, the 600 to 800 pounds would be sufficient for them to get whatever the basic information what Sarah has mentioned, especially in terms of your, kitchen utensils or your bedding or all those particular stuffs. The rest of the money, if you'd like to send it through your child, you can prepare a bank draft, which is made payable to the student's name. Okay, the student's name following the passport. Okay, so please make sure that a bank draft is made to the student's name, so that when they open a bank account, they can use the bank draft to bank in the money. All right. Now, in terms of your passport and your flight tickets, we would always encourage you to make a photocopy and leave it here back home. Your passport size photographs, I would strongly encourage at least a dozen. Why? Because you have many other things to start off with. For your TB test, you need a photo. During your enrollment, for various clubs and societies, there would be reasons to ask for photographs. So you don't want to be printing that in the UK. Just carry about a dozen or 2 dozen of your passport size photographs. And all your academic documents should be original when you go to the UK. Okay, carry that with you. But please make sure to make photocopies of all these documents and leave it with your parents before you leave. Why? Because just in case of any emergency, at least they have a copy of it. All right. Now, in terms of your accommodation, some of you would have already applied for your accommodation. Some of you are in the midst of deciding whether you should be taking up your offer or not. Again, there are deadlines to it, which you would have received standard emails from the university. We have also had instances where students come and say, I already did this. Why am I still getting emails from accommodation? I've already sent this. Why am I still? Please do understand that these are standard emails that are sent to all students, regardless of what offer they are holding. Do not panic. Okay, if you feel doubtful, you feel anxious about it, don't feel anxious, don't feel stressed about it. Okay, talk to us. I have received this. What should I do? Most of the times it's a standard email, but just make sure. Okay, again, like what I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation, you are an adult. You need to take responsibility of checking your emails, checking your junk mails, making sure that you're up to date with your information. All right. And it shouldn't be your parents who are doing it. It should be you yourself. Okay. We often get calls from parents. Of course, they are in their anxiety and they want to make sure everything is okay. We don't blame the parents, but we want you to take your responsibility on whatever it is from now on. Okay. So again, as an adult, the university would consider sending everything to you rather than your parents. Please make sure that you are on top of your emails. Please make sure you register for what is necessary than having us to harass you, literally, to do things. All right. So especially in terms of accommodation, they would send your key location to your email. Check your spam email, check your main emails. If you are required for a deposit payment, especially for those of you who have chosen accommodation, which is not the free accommodation, you will be required to make £100 deposit. So we have had instances where parents ask us, why are we paying the £100 deposit? It's just like any other rental places that you go to. You want to rent a place, they will ask you for a particular deposit. That deposit will only be refunded to you at the end of your stay, provided you don't damage anything in your room. Okay, so that is why this £100 deposit is there. Okay, so if you have to make the payment, there is the methods that's mentioned as well. Again, I said the accommodation pack will be sent via email, and under the useful links, there are more information. There's a handbook, there's a checklist, there's dates, there's everything. Please make sure you read that thoroughly, okay? And the £100 deposit can be made by card, or if you have chosen to make the payment via online or TT transfer, it is also possible. All right. So I think before leaving, we have kind of covered most of the information that you need to prepare. The next would be during your arrival, which I'm going to pass it over to Rishka. Rishka, over to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Miss. Hello, everyone. My name is Rishka. Thank you all for coming today. So without further ado, before I begin my slide, I just want to say about what to pack and what not to pack. So whatever you think it's useful for you to bring to the UK, just bring whatever it is, Milo, nasi goreng paste, or curry powder. Just bring everything you want, but obviously don't bring all the illegal stuff. But whatever you need, whatever you can't survive there, I would say just bring it. And also bear in mind your the load of your luggages also, okay? All right, so moving on, arrival. I'm pretty sure everyone right now is a bit panicky about the situation of the visa delay and everything. So I would say don't worry about it so much, because we will be there. We will be guiding you until you reach UK safe and sound. Okay. All right, so I hope all of y'all can see it. It is a bit small, but let me just explain to you guys. Okay, we have a lot of students coming from across the country. Countries listed under green zone, amber zone, and also red zone. These are the things that you will need to ensure and make sure that you have all this before you fly in. All right, so for those students who are coming from the green zone, you will not need to quarantine when you arrive at Aberystwyth University. All right, so you can immediately go into your accommodation that you sign up for, and that's about it. All right, so before you leave, before you take the flight, you will need to take a COVID test 72 hours prior, and it has to be negative. All right, so you have to take COVID test, it has to be negative, remember that. And then once upon arrival, you will need to take another COVID test on day 2. All right, this is compulsory, everyone needs to do it. Okay, so the test would cost about £88, if I'm correctly saying it. It's only £88. It has to be, obviously when you arrive, you pay the money and you also do the test. Okay, you can purchase the test, that means the COVID test, when you arrive for your day 2 through the link given there. Don't worry about it. We will send you the form of all the useful links for you to download almost everything there. Every information will be in there. So just keep in track of whatever we are sending you and all the updates that we are giving you. Okay, so that's for green zone. Those who are coming from amber zone, I think this would be for all of our Malaysian students. Okay, Malaysian students, unfortunately, we are still in amber zone, so I don't think so we'll be going under green zone anytime soon. But so what you will need to require in your, you will need to quarantine in your accommodation for 10 days. Okay, you will quarantine in your accommodation, which is allocated to you. All right, so 10 days quarantine, accommodation, food kit will be provided to all of the students who arrive. And when you're quarantined, food kit will be provided to all of you. So you all don't have to spend money at all. Okay. All right, so in terms of COVID test before you fly in, again, it's the same. You need to do a COVID test 72 hours before you fly in, and it has to be negative. Okay, and when you arrive, when you're quarantining, you will need to also do another COVID test in your day 2 and your day 8. Okay, the COVID test will be £170, a bit more pricier compared to students coming from the green zone countries. And you can also purchase through the link that we will give under the PDF form later on. Okay, so those who are coming from red zone countries, red zone countries, you will need to quarantine 10 days in a hotel. Okay, so overall hotel quarantine plus food and everything will be about £2,285. Okay. The good thing is the university is providing almost £1,000 to every student who are coming from only the red zone countries. So in total, you need to spend about £2,285. So since you're providing £1,000, you have to look after the balance that you're supposed to pay only. So that will be about £1,285. All right. So again, the same thing applies. Those who are coming from the red zone country, 72 hours before you fly in, you need to take the COVID test, and it has to be negative. And for you to book the hotel, the link is also provided. And again, don't worry if you can't see anything right here now. We will still send you the useful links for you later to have a look at. Okay. So that is in terms of all the countries. Arrival, I think most of them I've already mentioned it. So COVID PCR test 72 hours before flying in, this is a must. You will need to complete the passenger locator form. Again, the link will be provided in the PDF copy later. All right, before you fly in, make sure that you have everything in hand, your COVID PCR test and hotel quarantine. Make sure you book everything all up to date before you fly into the UK. All right, this is very, very important. Okay. All right, so arrival, what happened when you arrive in the UK? You will be arriving at Birmingham International Airport. Okay, if you are following our pickup dates, which you have to, and I would advise strongly that you have to follow our pickup dates so it's easier for you. There'll be a representative from the university who will be picking up all the international students, whoever who chose the pickup date, and they will be there waiting for you. Okay, so once you all arrive there, they'll be there waiting for you. They will mark all your names, and then from Birmingham Airport, you guys will take the coach all the way to Aber, together with every one of you all. All right, so before, once you arrive, make sure you just follow all the necessary lanes. Just follow your friends, whoever's following with you from Malaysia or whatever it is. Just follow them. Make sure you don't get lost. Ask whoever it is if you're lost or anything. Follow the arrival signs, check the stamp on your passport and all. Okay, so once you reach the immigration, don't be afraid. They're all very friendly immigration officers, and be confident when you answer all their questions. All right, they will most probably ask you where you're from, what are you doing here. So you just say you're from Malaysia, you are here to study, you're doing your law course, and that's about it. Don't be afraid or anything. Just be confident when you answer the questions, and that's all. It'll be a very quick process. All right, okay. Customs declaration. I'm pretty sure Miss Marianne did mention about this just now, of how much you're supposed to bring. But just in case, if you're bringing more than £10,000, okay, you will need to declare that amount. But I would advise you not to carry so much money with you. Just carry from 600 to 800 pounds. This amount of money will be just enough for you to survive there until the bank account is open, so that your parents can start transferring money for you. Okay, if you have nothing to declare, then just follow the green lane and you're good to go. All right, so that's basically it's basically standard immigration rules, standard airport rules. Okay. All right, so now the meet and greet. This is important for those who have not gotten your cards and also your visa. The specific date that we chose for all the students would be 15th September for you guys to fly in from KLIA all the way to Birmingham. But this is just for Malaysia, 15th September. But those who are coming from different countries throughout Southeast Asia, we have given you different dates. And these dates would actually depend on the availability of your flights in each country. All right. So as mentioned, you guys will be arriving at Birmingham International Airport. We will be giving you all the link for the meet and greet form, and which you all have to complete it. And this is a must. Whatever link we send you all, make sure you all register and everything. Don't register it last minute and make us, ask you whether you have registered it again and again or not. Okay, so as Miss Mary mentioned, you guys are adults, so make sure keep up to date about all this stuff. All right, follow the group chat WhatsApp. Everyone who has already paid the deposit will be in this group. Okay, now we have the Aberystwyth 2021-2022 group. So those who have already paid the deposit are all in the group. follow the group, make some friends, make sure all the updates are all in there. Update your friends where you are, where you're going, and so on. Aber email, again, make sure you keep track about all the emails that's coming to you. They could be under your spam, your junk, okay? So Aber email, very important. Connect to all Wi-Fi providers for communication. So most of you will be thinking in terms of once you all arrive in airport, or for example, when you all are laying over in Istanbul or Dubai, you all might be thinking about the SIM card and also how are you all going to communicate back at home or with other friends who followed you. So I think right here, right now, I will call upon Ainul, who will be talking about some of the SIM cards which you all can purchase from the Birmingham airport itself. So Ainul? Hello, Ainul, are you there?
Hi guys. Okay, thank
So
you.
just want to share your,
Yeah, thank you, Rishka, for the heads up. Yeah, or sorry, we're just having breakfast. Okay.
Oh, we lost them. Okay, meanwhile, before she comes in, oh wait, I think she's there. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. You got cut off. So whatever you said, you have to repeat it again.
Oh, okay. I think because of the connection.
She's gone again.
Okay, no
Okay.
worries. I think at this
Meanwhile-
point of time, Ainul
Yeah.
has gone off.
Okay, meanwhile, just to
Oh, I'm sorry. I think uni connection kind of like slow right now.
oh, okay. So yeah, so again, we didn't get you, so you will need to repeat whatever you just said.
Okay, there will be like a stall there, WH Smith. It's like a convenience store in the airport. So you can just like pop in the store and then you can buy the SIM card from there. There will be like many options there, like EE, Vodafone, and so on. But I would recommend Vodafone because Vodafone is much efficient for us because EE kind of like more expensive. But other than that, you guys can just like do it online, I think. Yeah, and for those who got UCAS, and then some of you maybe like can get because I just knew that some of us got like received free SIM card with the UCAS letter. So you guys do not need to worry about that because you guys can have Voxy or Vodafone with the UCAS letter. So yeah, with discount. I just knew about that. Yeah. So yeah, that's all.
Alright.
I think.
Thank you so much. I know, yeah, but actually,
Yeah.
those who did application in UCAS, I think you guys will be receiving a letter from UCAS itself, and they'll give you the SIM card, which is called GiveGap. So you can use that. It's not a bad line or anything. So GiveGap is actually good also. But otherwise, if you have no time to purchase SIM card at all in any of the airports that you land, you can connect to all the Wi-Fi providers. All airports have free Wi-Fi. So connect with, make sure you communicate back at home because your parents will be waiting for you to text them where you are and everything. Okay? All right. So one more thing that I would like to highlight here before I move on is to those who have not gotten your CAS and your visa yet, because I think the date that we mentioned here, 15 September, could be shocking to all of you all because I don't think most of you all will be able to make it for the airport pickup. So what's going to happen is those who are getting your CAS and visa appointment most probably right now after November or in November itself. I think now the appointment slots are open for November. So November onwards, obviously you can't make it for the airport pickup. All right, so I would say don't worry about it. You will be able to start your classes online first. and everything that has got to do with online classes will be handled by the university. You won't be put at a disadvantage just because you're doing it online compared to those who are doing face-to-face in the UK. All right. So when you have gotten your visa, I think most of your appointments are in October, I think September, October. So once you all get your visa, you all are ready to fly in, you all can fly in already. Okay, we will be still arranging pickup dates for those who are getting an appointment for their visa later on. So again, parents, don't worry that your child will be going all the way to Birmingham alone. We will still be arranging pickup services for all the international students who will be arriving after this date mentioned here. All right, but if you want to travel all by yourself, it is up to you if you want to do it, but I would advise you strongly to follow our pickup dates so you don't have to travel alone. Okay, so again, don't worry about your visa and your class. You can start your classes online, like I mentioned. So just keep in track with all the emails and we will be there to guide you all the way until you reach Aberystwyth. All right. Okay, so that is all for me. So I hope I mentioned everything. I'll just pass this over to Dash. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rishka. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in as well. So I will be covering the segment on once you arrive at Aberystwyth, you know, from your enrollment, just to cover some areas. And yeah, I'll just get into it, okay? Right. So first off, we're going to start off with once you arrived into the UK and then you arrive to Aberystwyth, how is the quarantine going to be like? You know, what are the requirements? You know, there's plenty of colors. There is the red listed countries, there's amber listed countries, and also green listed countries. And depending on which country you're coming from, and also specifically which countries you are going to have your layovers at, may affect your quarantine requirements that you will have to fulfill or follow through. Okay, so prior to this, you know, we have been in contact with all of you, notifying you from time to time, and some of you were informed that Dubai and also, sorry, the UAE and also Qatar was listed as a red listed country. And if you were to do a layover in these countries, you know, you would need to do a hotel quarantine. Just to update you on this, right now, Qatar and also the United Arab Emirates has been removed from hotel quarantines. They've been moved to amber listed countries, meaning to say that you can lay over in these countries and you would not need to do a hotel quarantine. But definitely this affects from your initial country of departure as well. Right. So just to elaborate more about red listed countries, if you do come over from a red listed countries, or even if you come layover in a red listed country, you will need to do a 10-day hotel quarantine. As Rishka has covered earlier, you know, you would need to purchase, you would need to book your hotel quarantine online, and the cost is £2,285. I know some of you might be wondering, it used to be lesser than the stated price right now, but the price has increased to £2,285, but not to worry, as the university would be providing a subsidy of £1,000. Right. Now, before arriving into the UK, you need to take a COVID PCR test 72 hours before you arrive in the UK, and you need to keep a copy of your report, and the report must show that it's negative. Now, in regards to students coming from amber listed countries, you too would need to go through a 10-day self-isolation as covered by Rishka earlier as well. Now, before arriving into the UK, you need to ensure that you take a COVID PCR test and the PCR test report comes out negative. Again, you must keep this report with you. Same goes with the green listed country. You must take a COVID PCR test 72 hours before arrival. Keep a copy of your report, but the only difference is that you do not need to self-isolate yourself. You immediately move into your accommodation that you have booked. Now, we have two students that did go through quarantine when they arrived into the UK last year. So can I get Sarah, Jasmine, and also Nur Farhana to, share your experience with everyone? How was quarantine like?
All right. Hi guys. My name is Sarah, and this is my friend Farhana. So for today, we're gonna share a bit about our quarantine experience in uni. So first of all, I would like to say, overall, it was such a good experience for us, and I was really satisfied with the hospitality provided by the uni. So to start off, only 2 people is allowed to stay in each flat, and each student will be given a set of groceries, which includes all the foods such as the basic bread, eggs, pasta, and there's also pre-cooked meals, including cleaning products and also toilet rolls. So basically, the amount of food is quite a lot, and you guys can even bring together with you after the quarantine ends. So what about you?
Oh, my experience is different than Sarah. They just they provide us like one meal one day, just one meal for one day, and then the rest is just like they give me like lots of juice, milk, pre cooked. That's all. If we need like something else, we just using like online something we just order from Morrison. That's all.
Because compared to my batch with Farhana's batch is slightly
more than 10 people.
11, slightly bigger compared to mine. So that's why their meals were provided. And as for my batch, we had to cook and prepare, but it's all right. Yeah, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Basically, you can cook because you do nothing.
Aside from that, the uni will also provide a new set of bed sheets, towels, and our own plates and cutleries. Yeah, I would also advise for you guys to bring your own thermos if possible, because the weather can get really hot. So it's easier for you to have access to hot water with you all the time.
Right. So, apart from, just to elaborate a little bit, you did order for provisions to be sent over to your quarantine area, your quarantine room. Did you, by any chance, ordered food delivery as well, Farhana and Sarah?
I'm order something. I'm order at that time, like after 5 days we be in the quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
We just like what a word is it called? We got sick of the same food that we eat. Not kind of like eat the food that usually you eat. So
Right.
at that time I'm order like fried chicken or something. Yeah. And also my friend he bought something like personal things he need to do, like soap. I don't know, he bought a lot of things.
Right.
That's easy to use online. At that time, both of us using the Malaysian card to pay all the expenses during using the online, what do you call that?
Online.
Yeah, online delivery. Yes, that's right.
Right. So
Yeah,
we can hear you. Yeah. That's actually a really good point to share as well, that you can start off paying with the card that you bring along with you while waiting for opening up a bank account. Definitely this is just a reminder to all students that before flying, do notify your bank, your banks, your personal banks, that you will be traveling and you would be using your card for transactions overseas. So at least they are informed as well. All right. Thank you so much for sharing on your quarantine experience, Sarah and also Farhana.
No problem.
Thank you. All right. Okay, moving on to the next slide, which is opening of bank accounts. Right. So when you arrive in Aberystwyth University, you do not need to worry about whether you'll have an opportunity, or rather whether you have enough time to open up your bank account. I would say go through the quarantine process, and after you're done with your quarantine, you can definitely you will be given time to open up your bank accounts. So this can be done during the induction weeks. Students who are arriving after induction weeks, you do not need to worry. You won't be missing out. You will still be given time to open up your bank accounts. Now, Aberystwyth town is very compact and it's very easy to get around by walking. So it's very easy to access the banks around Aberystwyth. In fact, it is just mainly all the banks are located in one street. So you have HSBC right beside of Barclays Bank, and then just a few doors away, you have another bank called NatWest. Everything is in the same area, very easy to get around. Now, in regards to documentations that you need to bring along with you in opening up a bank account, it would be definitely your passport. As an international student, your passport is the most important document. You would need to bring also your offer letter from the university. You would need to bring along your tenancy agreement in Aberystwyth. This would be your accommodation license pack. They would need to see where you would be staying, a photo of yourself, and also your bank draft. Now, right, so the the tenancy agreement in Aberystwyth is just to show that you have a UK address and you would be residing for the duration of time over there. Right, so in terms of your bank drafts, you need to show a minimum amount of £500. Okay, now once you have provided all these documentations, please do allow for up to 30 working days before your bank is up and running and ready for you to use for your transactions in the UK. Which is why earlier Ms. Marianne has made a very good point on ensuring that you bring enough cash in hand to make sure that you can manage yourself while waiting for the bank draft to be cleared. Okay. Now, I'll be covering about the visa extension. Now, once you have arrived in Aberystwyth, there will be a point of time where your visa your visa is only valid up until 2 months after your course is ending. So there are instances where you can extend your visa. So situations where you can extend your visa would be in terms of completing your existing course, or in instances where you have to retake an extra exam paper, or if you would like to further your studies for example, master's or transitioning into a PhD. Now, on the flip side of it, we also have the post-study work visa, which is available for our students who complete their master's and also their final year. So you can get an extension of visa for up to 2 years, and the application would need to be made when you are in the UK, right? So what is included would be a visa fee of £700, and also you will need to pay for your IHS or your immigration health surcharge, which would be priced at £624 per year. So we would be providing the link. So definitely, if you have any further questions, please drop it down in the chat box and we will address them at the end. Now, this is a very important thing when it comes to enrollment. This goes for students who are planning to go to Aberystwyth in September itself, or if they're deciding to do the first semester online and going to Aberystwyth for the second semester, or the third choice where they decide to do fully online. This is very important for everyone listening right now. So in regards to when the enrollment takes place, it takes place between 27th of September to 4th of October. Now, I'm sure many of you would be wondering, okay, but my offer letter says, my offer letter says that term starts on the 27th of September. Yes, term starts on the 27th of September, but it doesn't mean that your classes start on the 27th of September. It means enrollment takes place from the 27th of September until 4th of October. And on the 4th of October is where classes begin. Now, what does enrollment consist of? It would be definitely, if you're in Aberystwyth, you would be registering yourself with the local GP. It would also include every student, regardless of whether you do an online option or whether you're in Aberystwyth physically, to register for your modules. This would be your optional modules that you would be taking for the duration of your course. So, and this is also the time where you will be meeting with your personal tutor, getting to know them, and also, did I miss anything else? I think I've covered all the crucial part. Okay, right. So in regards to this, you need to ensure that you keep track of your emails. I cannot stress this enough. Your emails is the only way the university will correspond with you. You are not going to get phone calls like how we have been calling you from time to time. You will not be getting a message, a text message through SMS. You're not going to get a text message through WhatsApp. None of that. It will be communicated through your email. So ensure that you always check your inbox and your spam folder. Now, another important point I'm going to make. When enrollment takes place, the email address that you have formally provided to the university when you applied for your offer, these emails are not going to be sent, all this communication from the university is not going to be sent to this email address that you have formally provided. It would be sent to your Aber IT account. So just hold on. Some of you have already registered for your Aber IT account. Some of you are still waiting to activate your Aber IT account. I would say the moment you have activated your Aber IT account, ensure that you always check it, because that is the official way of the university communicating with the student. Okay, so another quick question is, you can see this red box, it says here, do you need to come to university to enroll? The answer is no, because we understand that some students are still waiting to get a visa appointment. Some students are opting to do a fully online option. So, you need not need to attend university to do your enrollment. Just keep a lookout for your emails. Please, I cannot stress this enough, okay? Right. So going, so the next,
Sorry, if you don't mind me joining in for a short while, I'd just like to give the students a reminder. In the useful links, we have provided the orientation links. The timetables for the individual departments can be found there.
Thank you so much for flagging that up, Ms. Marianne. So definitely do go through the file that has been shared. It's all the important documents, everything can be found in there. All the links has been provided as well. Right. Thanks, Miss, once again. Right. So going into enrollment. So in regards to enrollment, what you would need to provide to the university would be firstly your offer letter, your Aberystwyth offer letter. If you've applied through UCAS, you can get a copy of your offer letter through UCAS. You just need to log into your profile and you would have access to view the offer letter from Aberystwyth University. The next thing that you would need to provide is your passport and your visa, and then an English translated version of your entry requirements. So this all the certificates and transcripts that you have used to obtain your offer and also secure your CAS with the university, all of this needs to be provided. And sponsorship letter or proof of fee that has been paid. So for instance, all of you have paid your, for those who have already paid your international deposits, do provide a proof of this fee that has been paid. And also to those students, to everyone, please forgive me, right? So the last part would be evidence that you have applied for your visa application. Okay, right. Miss, am I missing out anything?
At this point of time, I think nothing much. Just a little highlight to the students is that for those students who are doing it online, I mean, this is particularly for students who are in Aberystwyth. You definitely have to submit your original offer letter, passport, visa, and all that. But for students who are doing it online, please make sure that you have this in soft copy that you can email it over, okay? And when you email, please do copy us in. So just in case the university has not received it, we would have a copy as well. You may think that we have already sent it to Rishka and Dashni. They have it with them. But again, please compile it and send it again, because we are dealing with many, many emails, many, many inquiries. They are high quality for us not to have all the informations together. So please be patient with us. Compile it together, send them a copy and please copy us in as well. Sorry, Dash.
No worries. Thank you so much for adding that in, Miss. That was really helpful. Right. So I'm going to go to the next slide, which would be the most important thing for our students who are going to the UK, your BRP, or also known as your Bioresidence Permit. So this card would be a very important document for you while you're in the UK. Please do not lose it. If you do lose it, please get in contact immediately with us, notify us so that we can also direct you to the person that you need to contact in the university. Right. So for students who are applying for your visa, you would be required to provide your biometrics. Now, your biometrics would be required to produce this permit card. Now, upon arriving to Aberystwyth, you would be required to collect this permit card from the post office. Now, the post office is located in the town center itself. It's very easy to locate it because there's only one post office, and it's located in a stationery shop. So the stationery shop is called W.H. Smith. And if you enter that shop and go all the way to the back, you will find the post office, and you just need to bring along your passport, and they would give you your, and then you'll be able to collect your BRP after that. Okay, so this is a very important document, guys. Please do not lose it. Okay, now I'm going to be covering about studying at Aberystwyth University. As a student, you need to ensure that you know your course structure, your teaching and assessment methods. This is to ensure that you can, get make sure you make the arrangements and you can, score and do your assignments to the best of your capabilities. And the only way to do this is by knowing your course structure, the teaching and assessment methods, okay? Now, another thing is definitely do attend your classes and participate. Attending classes is very important because you are under a student visa, so you have a responsibility to attend your classes as well. That goes the same for students who are doing their online classes first. I understand if you're doing it online, there is the option to watch the recording, but you still need to ensure that you attend your classes, okay? And also you need to ensure you hand in your assignments on time, okay? They're very, very strict and punctual about this. Just to let you know, UK is a very punctual country. If they say 12 o'clock, it means the portal closes at 12 o'clock. That's just an example I can say. Okay, just to give another example, this is a bit on the sidelines, but if your bus ticket says that, from Birmingham to Aberystwyth is at 3 p.m., it means the bus departs at 3 p.m. and the doors would close before 3 p.m. So they're not going to wait a minute or two after that, okay? Okay, so that's just to give you some examples, okay? Right. Now, in regards to, I'm sure plenty of you have questions, is it going to be face-to-face teaching? Is it going to be online teaching? Is it going to be a hybrid? What's the situation like in Aberystwyth, okay? So just to give you an idea, what is it like in Aberystwyth? In April, the university managed to transition fully into face-to-face teaching, and it was fully SOP compliant based on what the government has issued, the SOPs that the government has issued. Now, students were allowed to go for face-to-face teaching, but they were required to do social distancing. So, you definitely have the markers on where you can sit and where you can't sit. And also you have your, stations of where hand sanitizers was placed. And on top of that, let's just say in the instance where there's no longer spaces available for students to sit in the classroom because of keeping social distance, then they would need to watch the lecture online. So that's just to give you a view on how is it like. They're very strict with following SOPs, so it is really safe. Okay, right. Now, the situation in Wales right now, I would say the situation right now in Wales in comparison to England is much more controlled. COVID cases in Wales is much more lower than England, especially Aberystwyth, because we're located way, away from the city. So if we do go on this track, there is we can still maintain for face-to-face teaching unless the government declares otherwise. Okay, so definitely we will be updating you from time to time, but for now this is what it is in the university. Right. A little bit about study life at Aberystwyth. Just to let you know on the teaching methods and styles in the UK, it is very, very different, I would say, from Asian countries. It's more independent studying. So your tutors are there to guide you rather than teach you on, for example, they're not going to tell you to read this article and your test will only be tested on this article. You definitely have to do additional reading, independent studying as well. Okay, and it's very common for lecturers or rather tutors in classes to encourage students to debate or participate in sharing opinions and getting involved in class discussion as well, because they want to put you in a position where you're able to express your opinions and also listen to other students' opinions so that you can form a better judgment, argument, I would say, those of you who are taking the law courses, but it really does help you in your personal development in your studies. Okay, right. So like I mentioned earlier, a lot of self-studying as well, but definitely you will get the guidance from the tutors. They will let you know that, right, if I'm teaching this subject, I would mainly use my my materials from this book, from this textbook, for instance. So it's not to say that the lecturer is going to leave you on your own to study without guiding you. They're there to guide you, but you also have to put in your work. Okay, right. So during lectures, students take a bit of a passive role where they listen to the lecturers. Then you also have to attend your tutorials. So during your tutorials, you would be required to be more active in participating with the class as well. All right. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, so in terms of like your, not tutorials, your seminars, sorry about that. Yeah, your seminars is where the students would be interacting more with the tutors and would be discussing on the assignments that's been given, or rather a case study, and you would have to discuss very thoroughly in the seminar. Okay, and your in comparison to your lectures and your seminars, when you go attend for your lecture group is really big. Okay, sometimes it can be 100 plus students. It can be more. It depends on the module that you're taking. If you're taking a core module, there's going to be more students that are taking the lecture, right? But when you're attending your seminar, it is a much more smaller group. It's only maximum 20 students or less. This is to ensure that the quality of ensuring that the students understand the topic is higher and they can focus more on the student. Okay. Right. So
Dash, I'm sorry, just to give, yeah, I think you are going to cover here, but just to also mention how it would work with the online students starting online, especially on time zones.
Right. Yeah. I was going to cover it in this slide. Okay. Right. Not to miss out on students who are doing their classes online. You're not going to be left out just because you're doing your classes online. Okay. It would be a little bit different, definitely. I would be explaining how it works. So in terms of your online classes, it would be according to your time zones that you're in. So for instance, lectures would be recorded. All lectures will be recorded and uploaded onto Blackboard for viewing immediately after the class is conducted. So every student has access to this. But at the same time, on the flip side, when it comes to seminars, instead of joining, when it comes to seminars, you would be grouped together according to time zones. So all of you who are doing your online classes from Malaysia, you all will be grouped together to do your seminar as a group. Okay, right. Now, in terms of assignments, your assignment submission would be online as well through the university portal, and they would be using Turnitin for you to submit your assignment. And not to worry, even though you're doing your classes online, you still have access to all the university resources. So you would have access to the resources of the university library. They use this system called Primo. So you have access to that. At the same time, you still have access to contacting your personal tutor. And then you also have access to all the materials that are on Blackboard. The lecturer always ensures that they upload everything on Blackboard so that you won't be left behind. Now, in terms of attendance, you would be required to not miss out your classes as well. And when it comes to exams, this would depend on your course structure. So certain modules would require you to do 100% it's 100% assignment based, and some of it is a combination where there's a breakdown between assignments and also a test. So your test will be conducted online, and you will have to submit it within the time frame. Just going to call Sarah Jasmine online for a bit because she did completed her first semester online. Sarah, do you want to share how was your first semester like online?
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
How I did my first semester online.
How was the access to the resources and all? If you could just share it with the students.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, it was a bit tough at first because I had to adapt with all the time zone. But in terms of the resources, initially I had trouble accessing some of it because sometimes when it said it like some article is available online, when I click it, sometimes I had to like sign up. So I had to email the lecturer back and forth just to make sure I can really access all the online sources. But apart from that, it was all right. Like the whole semester was smooth.
It was smooth. Okay,
Yeah,
that's good. So definitely, I would say try to get adapted. I mean, we would be there to provide additional help if you can't have access to any of the resources. We will communicate it with the university. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it's advisable for you to communicate with the lecturer as well. Just it's easier for to get the resource. Yeah.
And also I want to reply Dixon for study from home. I think you can email the university about that to confirm that you are from home to study online. So yeah, I think from that because I think some of us have done that, but I never done that before because I'm still in here. So yeah.
No worries. I think
Yes.
in regards to questions, we would be addressing all of the questions at the end. So not to worry. We will be going through it one by one. Okay.
Yeah, I will keep replying here.
No worries. Thanks, Sarah, for sharing that bit on how was your first semester online.
Welcome.
Thank you. Right. So to everyone listening, definitely online classes, you're not going to be left out just because you're doing online classes. All the resources is there. The most important thing is please ensure that you get in contact with your personal tutor. Your personal tutor is there to guide you and help you in your personal development while you're studying. So yeah, and they're also there for anything academic related and also personal related. So your personal tutor can be someone who can provide you a reference letter as well. So it's very important to ensure that you build up a relationship with your personal tutor. And also if you're feeling a little bit down or need additional support, they would be able to assist in your well-being as well. Okay. Now, in terms of examination, when it comes to resit, students who would require this would be notified by email. You would be given a duration of time where you have to register for your examination resit. Please ensure that you always keep a close tab on your emails and do follow the timeline to register for the exam if at all you need to register yourself for a resit. I think I've covered that, but definitely do ask any questions that you have in the chat box and I'll address them as well. Yeah. So going to the next slide. Right. So this applies to everyone who's listening right now, whether you're doing your course fully online, partially online, or fully in Aberystwyth. It's in regards to plagiarism. And this is the utmost important thing to, register within yourself that when it comes to submitting your coursework, you need to ensure that it is your own work. Sorry, I'm hearing a bit of an echo. Okay, right. Sorry about that, guys. I could hear an echo earlier. Right. So in terms of plagiarism, it's very important to ensure that you do not use any other person's work and claim it as your own. This goes the same as if you are planning to do your assignment together as a group, you know, you as a group of friends would like to do your assignment together, that is perfectly fine, but ensure that you do not copy each other's work, okay? Because direct copying, or even if you paraphrase without proper referencing, all of this would add up to your plagiarism, and it's going to affect you, you know, in a bad way. It really is going to affect you, and you're not going to, it's going to affect you directly in a sense where it will affect your degree classification. It's going to make things very complicated for you to even request for a receipt. Miss Marianne would be sharing a little bit about that momentarily. Let me just get through this slide first. Right. Ensure that you always provide proper referencing. I cannot stress this enough. You have to ensure that to limit the the plagiarism would be cited in your work. Okay. Right. So in order to avoid plagiarism, you have to ensure that you acknowledge the source of everything that you use in your work. Even if it's a line, even if it's a sentence that you are adapting from a formal research, you have to ensure that you provide the proper citation, the proper accreditation from the source that you've received, okay? I mean, from the source that you got from. Even quotation marks, you have to ensure that you use accurate citations. Right. Now, the bad side of plagiarism, if you are caught in cheating and copying someone's work and not taking your citations properly, you can be removed from the university. I know it sounds very harsh, but the university takes this very, very seriously. It is a big offense, and it's against all university regulations. So make sure you do not plagiarize, okay? Miss, do you have anything to share regarding plagiarism?
I definitely do. Okay, thanks, Dash. Okay, so students, you may think that we are mothering you, and you may think that, you know, I'm an adult, I know what I'm doing. Parents may say, what are they talking about? What is so serious about this? But again, like what Darshini has mentioned, this is a serious offense at the university, okay? I've had personally had to deal with students who just couldn't graduate. I mean, you're spending all this money going over to UK, you're trying to get a degree in hand, and it's really sad if you cannot get that scroll in your hand just because you did not, quote people properly, or you copied something and not acknowledge it. It's very, very sad. So you can call us whatever you want to, but at the end of the day, when you face a trouble, you're going to come back to us, okay? So please be very, very careful. We have had instances where students couldn't sit for their exams, or where they were supposed to get first class, ended up with a third class degree just because of plagiarism. Okay, so do not take this as a light matter. You may think if I reword it and stuff and all that might be fine. No, the university has a system. They will be able to give you how many percent you have copied your work, and you're only allowed a certain percentage, which is pretty minimal compared to what you have in local institutions here. So for students who from local institutions, you may be familiarized with, you know, with this plagiarism and stuff. Again, local institutions here might not emphasize it, but in the UK, this is a serious offense. They will not give you any chance. Okay, so you need to be very careful about this. Over to you, Dash.
Thanks, Miss. I think the point that can be taken from plagiarism is that definitely familiarize yourself with the citations that you have to use in your work. So if you're using a Harvard referencing style, please ensure that you follow the proper citations. If you're doing a law program, we use Oscola. make sure you properly provide the citations according to the system that you are quoting. Okay, so as long as you ensure that you give credit when you're doing your assignment and you're not directly copying and paraphrasing just to make your work easier, you are safe. Okay, you put in the work, you research, you write your paper. That's the main thing you have to do. You have to ensure to do. Okay, and you won't be in any trouble. Okay, don't I'm sure there must be some anxiousness that students are feeling right now, like, oh my god, how am I going to write my paper now? What if I get a 10% on plagiarism on my paper? Relax. Make sure you do your work, your studying, your research, and then you write your paper. Provide the proper citations. You will be okay. Okay? Don't try to outsmart the system. That's the whole thing that I can say to summarize. Do not outsmart the system. Okay, right. So in terms of attendance policy, I will be covering on a few points. So when it comes to enrollment, it would be, sorry about this attendance policy, right? Attendance policy, there is a few criteria that would be considered as your attendance. Firstly, it's regarding your enrollment. So during your enrollment, you would be required to provide certain documentations. That's like your passport, your visa, and etc. Right. Now, there's this thing called a face-to-face sign-off. This is for students who are on campus. Students who are doing your course online, you would be sent emails on this where you have to provide documents over to the university as well from time to time, just so the university is checking whether you're still following through or not. Right, so in regards to face-to-face sign-off, this would be, this would be during Christmas and also spring break. Just look out for your email as well for students who are on campus. Now, census point is in regards to doing your documents check, to see that you are still in the area in Aberystwyth, and they would require you to attend the census point check and bring all your documents that you brought during your enrollment and provide it to the officers in charge. So this will be done, accordingly during October up until April, and they would need to see that you report in. Okay, so as I mentioned, it applies for students who are doing their course online as well. From time to time, you do need to report in as well.
Dash, can I just add into this, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so this particular attendance policy is for students who think, I am in the UK, I can skip class, I can get my friends to tap in for classes, and I can relax and watch Netflix in my room and look at video recordings later. This is for you, okay? When you are coming to the UK, you are literally sponsored by Aberystwyth to be in the country. So we need to make sure that you are in the country and you are doing what you're supposed to do, which is studying and attending your classes. All right. So they will come and check. This is where you should be good pals with your personal tutors and your lecturers as well, because if they don't know you, surprisingly, Aberystwyth being a small town, your lecturers literally know each and every student, okay? So if you don't attend your classes, you don't participate in any of the works and things like that, communication will be sent to visa compliance, or your personal tutor will actually email you and find out if you're all right or not, and they will get in touch with us. So for students in the UK, if they can't get in touch with you and all, there are high chances for the university to inform UKVI that the student is not in Aberystwyth and they can cancel your visa application. So don't take this for fun, all right? You need to make sure that you're attending classes. Don't get somebody else to tap your cards for you. For those of you who are doing online, remember, if you don't participate in your classes, and later point, if there is any leeway for 1-2 marks that you're hoping to get in your final degree, well, they all know you by name, so you should get yourselves engaged with them, all right? Sorry, Dash, over to you.
Thank you so much. That was very insightful, Miss. Okay, Right, now brings us to the next point, which is the degree classification. Right, so just to let you know that there are a few categories. There is your first class degrees, which is an overall percentage of 70% and above. And then you have your second class degree, and that's subdivided into two categories. So you have your second class upper division and second class degree lower division, or in the UK they use this terminology 2-1 or 2-2. It just means second upper or second lower. Okay, so if your overall percentage falls between 60 to 69%, then you fall in a second upper degree, and then if it's between 50% or 59%, then you will fall in a second lower degree. Now a third class degree is between 40% to 49% overall, and then anything below that would be a fail. Now, students who are studying at Aberystwyth University, you would have access to a cascade calculator, because that is the system that they use to to grade your degree classification. So you would have access to this once you registered with the university and once you have your ABER student ID. All you have to do is log into your student record and you would have access to the button called Cascade Calculator. So this is something that you can do at the beginning of your semester itself. You can just roughly put in your marks and then generate the calculation and find out how much do you need to score in each module in order to get a first class degree, for instance, or second class upper. This is why we always, stress the point to students to make sure that you really, this is for students who are going for their final year or who are doing a credit transfer program. This is why we mentioned it's very important for you to score really high marks when you are doing your second year and transitioning into your third year, because your marks from your second year would also, would affect your overall degree classification as well. So make sure you study, guys. Okay, right. Now, this part is in regards to homesickness. This would apply to students who are in the UK, being away from home, the settling in and adjustment periods, or known as the homesickness W curve. It doesn't really look like a W, but more or less like a W. It's just called a W curve, right? So when you first arrive in the UK, you're very excited, you're very motivated, everything is just exciting. You're there, you say, I can't believe I'm finally here. And your spirit is very, very much at a level high. So, which brings you to stage one, which is the now, when you first arrive in the UK. Now, as the months go by, reality starts sinking in, your coursework starts piling up, you're, starting to prepare for your first semester, and that's where your honeymoon period is slowly coming to an end. You got yourself settled in, you have to face the reality of, sitting for classes, making sure you comply with attendance, meeting all your deadlines and as such, which brings you to stage 3, which is the part where it's the lowest in the curve. So this is where it's very common for students to feel homesick. Some of you might have the feeling of not wanting to attend classes. Please make sure you do. If you're finding it very difficult, settling in, this is where you reach out to your personal tutor. If you want, reach out to us as well. If you need someone to talk to, just let us know and we'll be there. And then somewhere around stage 4 or stage 5, things gets better, because this is the part where you start preparing for graduation. You get your results. You're like, oh my God, I qualified to graduate. Communicating with your parents and saying like, I'm coming home, booking my flight ticket, I'm making all the arrangements, and it's peaking up again. And then when you reach stage 6, it's where it starts all over again, if your course is more than 1 year. So this is the homesickness W curve. It's very common for students to go through this process. I would say definitely keep a constant touch with your family. Don't feel like you have to isolate yourself. Yes, you might be busy doing your coursework. You have assignment deadlines to meet as well. But it's very important to stay connected with not just your family. Make sure you communicate with your friends. Get involved with clubs and societies. It's a good way to distract yourself as well and keep yourself occupied. Anything you would like to add, Miss? All right. Okay. Now here's the most important part. When it comes to food, some of you are practicing a halal dietary diet. So I'll pass it over to Ainul. Ainul will be elaborating more on where you can find halal food or halal meat as well.
Hi guys. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Ainul. I'm taking law, and next year is gonna be like my final year. So I think I can elaborate a bit about the halal foods because I am hijabi and I'm Muslims. But no worries for Indians and also Chinese. You guys can also there's plenty of food here. But I must say first that Aberystwyth is such a small town, so you do not need to walk far to get food, but just the hills. Too much hills that you might be experienced that, so you're gonna be fit after that. So yeah. And then, so where can I buy halal foods? Okay, firstly, halal restaurants. We got Fusion King. This is like the heaven for us, because it's so cheap,
It's very bougie.
yeah. It's like £5, but you can get a lot of portion for that. Let's say that you want to order chicken. They also have chicken rendang there. So if you guys have homesick, you guys want to eat something reminds you for Malaysian food. So you guys can expect the chicken rendang. Actually, it's not like Malaysian chicken rendang, but it tastes like chicken rendang a bit. Yeah. Yeah, but the rice is a lot. So yeah. Maybe because the owner is Asian. But I must say that for chicken it's halal, but for beef it's not halal. So please do not for the Muslims do not order the beef for the in the menu. And then Casablanca
Already closed.
Yeah, I come back here and it's already closed. And normally they are very affordable and such big portion also, especially for seafood and stuff. And each and every menu for that is halal because the owner is from Algeria. And it's only open during dinner. But unfortunately, if you guys come here, it's already closed. You guys can just see the shop, but not the food. And then Sapantai, it also have online
delivery. Only start on Thursday until Saturday.
Yeah.
Only for 3 days they open for delivery.
About food, Fahana is number one. Yeah,
Very good.
for Muslims, please just order the seafood only because chicken and other stuff it's not halal. But the owner, it's like a family restaurant. The husband is from UK, but the wife is from Thailand. Yeah. So they opened the shop here, and then Medina slightly pricey. It's beside the Fusion King. But yeah, I do not recommend Medina actually because it's so expensive. I never tried that, but yeah. Even when you come into the shop, it's so fancy with the wine and stuff. But yeah, and then Light of Asia, it's in front of the Fusion King. I think most of the shop for for foods, it's kind of very near, beside and then in front. Yeah, so Light of Asia is actually particularly master in Indian cuisine, and yeah, it's a bit nice. But I must say the biryani is kind of salty. I'm sorry, it's just personal reference. Yeah. But yeah, and it's also a bit pricey because you guys have to pay £30 for biryani. Yeah, and it's not that delicious actually. Yeah.
Penguin Cafe, I don't know.
Yeah, Penguin Cafe. It serves halal pepperoni for those you guys. This is macam pizza restaurant, pizza cafe. Yeah, it serves a very delicious pizza, I must say. Especially, actually, I never knew that the pepperoni is halal because when I want to order, there was they have also online delivery, but I went there in person. So when I want to order that, because I'm wearing hijab, so they know that I am Muslim. So the workers there
noticed me, and then they were like, "Oh, do you want like pepperoni? Because we serve halal pepperoni." So I was just like, "Yeah, please," because I'm sick of like only cheese on top of that. So yeah, I would like some meat, of course.
Don't laughing, be serious.
And then also please be cautious of the ingredients and do inquire if the food contains alcohol. For example, some ice creams might contain rum. And please do not order ice cream Rocky Road because they have marshmallow. So you do know that marshmallow have contain gelatin. So it's like some gelatin, but I might recommend do not need to like order the Rocky Road. You guys can have other options like meat. Do not order mint chocolate, just chocolate. Yeah, and then halal meats and chicken you guys can get from Scubo, from Penglas. Okay, from Penglas, I think you guys might aware with this name because it's like one of your accommodation, university accommodation. So it's just near with the from Penglas.
Together with the Starbucks.
Together with they have Starbucks also.
In the from Penglas together with the Starbucks.
Yeah, but normally they don't have like many options for like to order in the Starbucks in from Penglas. But we do have Starbucks like in town. Yeah, Starbucks in town, and then the student union shop in campus. Yeah, we do have student union shop. Like you guys can like buy something like hoodies and stuff like Aberystwyth University things. And then Booker's, it's like a factory, but yeah, it's really cheap because you can buy a bargain. Yeah, you guys never went there, so you don't know that. Yeah, it's cheap, but it's located far away from campus. It's like another side of Aberystwyth, and taxi is rarely there. So yeah, I would not recommend to go there too because it's so far. And then Tesco, yeah, they do get that because apa nama ayam tu? Shazam, yeah.
Shazam halal.
Shazam halal, yeah. It's like
the whole chicken,
but you have to
the
chop.
stock for per day is not many, just like 10 whole chicken per day. So if whoever want to that chicken need to go first come first serve.
Yeah.
Wow, easy to say.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I think UK people like halal chicken because when we go there, it's just like suddenly, usually runs out. And then Asian market.
I know we have a new shop like for Asian market.
Yeah, Asian market, but honestly, it's not Asian market, guys. It's Middle East market. It's like Turkish shop that you can get in Malaysia. Seriously, it's not Asian market. Seriously, I must say. But I think it's kind of closing down because there's not many options and students kind of like, go to Tesco. Because Asian markets, it's not that fancy. It's not like in Birmingham or
very sketchy.
Yeah, it's very sketchy and the owner is kind of like flirtatious. Yeah. And then food delivery. I'm just sharing my personal experience, so you guys might have like early warning. Because before you come here,
for delivery
we have 3 Food Hub. I want to add here Food Hub, Just Eat and Deliveroo. But normally we just order
Food Hub. Food Hub is the best one for right now because they're cheapest. Whenever you buy more than £10, you can get 10% off.
Yeah.
Usually like something like food, but for grocery, you want to like send like direct to your home, you order online, you just go Deliveroo. They will be good, but the option is not really like have so many options, just limited option. But they're really helpful in case you have something like emergency.
Yeah, but Food Hub is number 1.
But on the food delivery also, they also like sell halal food. Yeah, because like Rana Kitchen, that's halal one.
Halal fast food, you can search Rana
Kitchen. Rana Kitchen.
Yeah.
Wah, kita tutup promote.
Yeah, kita promote makan. Anything else can I help?
Awak sangat datang sini makan je. That's all. Yeah. I think that's all for food. Oh yeah, groceries. Just now we have Tesco. Tesco Big Superstore and then also Tesco Express. Tesco Express is
more expensive, a bit
small.
but expensive. I would recommend go to the Tesco Superstore and Morrison's. Morrison's is kind of far. You have to get there through bus or taxi. And then Lidl's. Oh yeah, great news. Lidl's just opened the new
The new one, the bigger
one and bigger one and more
variety food.
Yeah. If you want to find cheap
bakery and stuff.
Yeah, and it's also near to bus station. Yeah. So it's very convenient for there. Asia Market, just now, yeah. And then we also do have, if you want to get like cheapest thing, you guys can get from Poundland. It's like macam eco shop in Malaysia, macam kedai RM2 tu. Yeah.
So then,
Poundland, yeah.
Something you can cook.
And then if you guys want to get toiletries, if you
Poundland
or Severs, yeah.
Severs is the best. Wow, Severs is the best.
Yeah. Oh, Dixon says that, and there's MacD far away from town. Yeah. Is this Dixon that I know?
No. Next.
Yeah, MacD. We do have MacD, McDonald's, but it's
very far.
It's very far because it's in front Morrison.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want KFC, they have in town, so you don't need to walk far from there. Yeah. And I have like personal experience for groceries is that the cashier is very, 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 very friendly. Like
you got two cents, they give it to you.
Yeah, super friendly. Yeah, I must say, and they're very chill, and they always ask you how are you today, have a nice day. It's very good compared to Malaysia. Yeah.
Please continue.
And then there was this time I left my grocery in town because I went to do like to go to HSBC to open like to get my cash because I want to go back with taxi because taxi here normally use cash. But yeah, I just left my groceries there accidentally. And then I must say Aber here, the people here are very nice and very friendly. And I didn't know that they kept my grocery in the cafe because they do know that I will come back. So they just told me that, oh, is this groceries yours? I just kept it for you. Then I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, yeah. So everyone and every parents, please be assured that, yeah, rest assured that your kids here will be like very, very safe.
Aberystwyth is like family kind of.
Yeah, family kind of safe. Yeah.
So they're very safe here.
And the people here are very conservative. They do wear masks, even though UK already like lifted the mandatory to wear masks. They do wear masks, so it's very safe here. Yeah. True. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I would say definitely like everything is provided in the document pack, so you can just have a look at it, and if you have any additional questions, you can get in contact with us as well. Right. So moving into living in Aberystwyth when it comes to your health, all international students are entitled to subsidized treatment under the NHS. So if you're wondering what is NHS, it's just their government hospital. So all the government hospitals is by, it's known as NHS. So as long as you are an international student, you are enabled to get treatment under the NHS service. Now, why, you must be wondering, okay, why am I enabled? Is it because I'm an international student? Yes. And also because when you're applying for your visa, you do pay for your IHS. So your IHS is what enables you to get treatment if required under the NHS. So if at all you need to go to the GP if you're having like a running nose, or for instance you suddenly develop some rashes because of some food allergy that you mistakenly have eaten, then you can visit the local GP, and you do not need to make any payment. You can just walk out of there because it is covered under your IHS. Now, if you need to know more about all of the local GP panels and everything, there's the link over there which you can visit if you would like. There are certain things that are not covered under the NHS. So for instance, if you need to do any dental treatment, it's not covered. If you need to go and get your eyes checked, or for instance anything optometry related, then it's not covered under the NHS, which is why earlier it was mentioned that please ensure that you get your dental, checkup done, and also your eye checkup done before you leave to the UK, because it is very, very important. And also it saves you a lot of money, okay? And just to add a little bit more about the health under NHS and your IHS, is that if at all you would need to have a follow-up treatment and go to the clinic or the hospital, then there may be charges imposed because there are certain criteria that doesn't fall under the IHS, okay? So that's just on the general part. If there's any specific issues that you would like to check with us, please do get in contact and we will advise you accordingly from there. Okay, now I mentioned about local GP. You must be wondering, where is this local GP? Is it close to where I'm staying? I'm not too sure. The answer is do not worry. We are here to guide you. First off, there is a local GP that is located right at the campus entrance. It is called Padan Surgery. And then just a few meters away, there's the hospital located. So you do not need to worry. Everything is on campus. And as mentioned earlier, Aberystwyth is a small town. So getting around Aberystwyth is very, it is possible to get around by foot as well. Distance from campus to town is just 2 kilometers. So if at all you do stay in town and you need to go, I hope you do not need to visit the hospital or the local GP. I wish you really good health during your stay in the UK. But if at all you need to go, the distance is less than 2 kilometers, just to put it into distance wise. Right. So in terms of getting registered with the local GP, this would be done during orientation week, which is the first week from 27th of September up until 4th of October. Students who are arriving later, I understand that there's the issue with visa right now. You might get your visa, you may receive your visa late. So during, if at all you're wondering how is that going to work, do not worry. Upon arriving, you just need to get to, you just need to register yourself with the local GP and it will be okay. They may ask you for your IHS number. So ensure that you have your IHS reference number with you in case they ask for a copy. Okay. Now, if you have been fully vaccinated, please ensure that you have your vaccination cards with you. This is to cover the students from Malaysia. Our vaccination cards, apart from the vaccination cards, you're also provided with a digital certificate. Just provided information to the local GP as well. To our international students who are not from Malaysia, do not worry. Ensure that you provide the information from your vaccination to the local GP and you will be okay. All right. Now, here's a little bit about COVID vaccinations. Before I talk about COVID vaccinations, just to focus a little bit on how the COVID situation is like in UK. I will be talking about Wales, more focused on Wales, but here's just an overview about all the different areas in the UK. You can see a graph. Now, this graph is to, record the number of patients in the hospital that has been admitted in the hospital for the coronavirus. So if I can direct your attention to the graph that is been labeled for Wales, it is one of the lowest in comparison to the other areas in the UK. So thank you, Miss. I'll just highlight this. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so this is the right here. Okay, I don't know why it's not working for me. The marker is not working for me. All right, this graph over here. Thank you, Miss. So that graph over there, in comparison to every other place in the UK, the number of patients in the hospital for COVID is very, very low, and the numbers are reducing even further because majority of the population in Wales has been fully vaccinated. And on top of that, Aberystwyth is located, as I mentioned, away from the city. So, it's not densely populated in comparison to a city. Right. Now, about COVID vaccination, some of you might be worried because there are instances where you're still awaiting for a vaccination appointment. Some of you have received your first dose of vaccine and you're wondering, how is that going to work? I'm going to be flying to the UK very soon. Am I allowed to take my COVID, my second dose vaccination in the UK or get my full vaccination done in the UK? The answer is yes, you can get your vaccination done in the UK. Now, the reason why is because the IHS that you have purchased covers your COVID treatment and vaccination. So if at all you have not gotten your vaccine, you can get your vaccines in the UK. You will just need to register with the local GP. And on top of that, there is also a vaccination walk-in center, not located on the main campus, but it is located in Klan Badan campus, which is just about 2 kilometers away from the main campus, which is Penglais campus. Right. Now, if at all you have been, if at all you've received your first dose of vaccine, you will need to ensure that you provide the vaccination details to the local GP so that they would be able to advise you accordingly on what the second dose on the suitable second dose that they can provide. If you've received AstraZeneca, then it's a high chance that you'll get your second dose as AstraZeneca. But as mentioned, the local GP would advise you accordingly. Now, right. So in terms of travel, there's just a little bit for Malaysian students. In terms of traveling right now, you would need to get a travel pass, and I would direct you to Stephen. For that, Stephen will be covering about it later on. But before I continue further, we have students who have gotten their vaccination, who has been fully vaccinated in the UK, which is Ainul. So Ainul, do you want to just quickly share how the process was like? How was registration and receiving your vaccination was like?
Okay, thank you, Dashani. Okay, go back again with me. Jangan buat aku gelak.
Aku tak buat kau gelak pun.
Okay, for my experience for COVID vaccination, Alhamdulillah, fortunately, I got full vaccinated. I got Pfizer. Sarah got Moderna, and then Falana got AstraZeneca. But she's got from GP, but we both got from we have to register. I think uni provides the link to register that. So we just click on the link, and then they will just a form. It's slightly short form. Yeah, it's very take any 2 seconds to that. Just enter your details and stuff, and then you just have to pick which vaccination center that you want. So we just pick the Lambadan, like Dashani said before. Yeah, the nearest from us. We just have to walk because we are in accommodation university, so it's very near to everything. And then the process is kind of after we fill in the details, we must alert for any phone calls. Actually, they will call us because we already entered our phone numbers in that. So yeah, we have to be fully alert if they call us to do the vaccination. So yeah, please be alert. Just like me and Sarah, I missed my first dose.
Oh yeah. But if you me in GP, they will strictly call you because I'm a high risk, because I have diabetes. So the person that they will really focus, they will call you until you pick up the phone. Yeah. So here they have pro and cons, but they're really helping you if you high risk or something.
Yeah,
so don't worry about that.
They are very friendly, super friendly. For me, I just call back the number because it's private number. I think they call us via their own numbers. So I just call them, and then they told us that do not need to worry. You guys can just have walk-in, because we also have walk-in service options. So yeah, if you walk in, they will took you to the for example, I just went there and I got Pfizer. So they will take me into the lane for Pfizer, and then Sarah might go to the Moderna lane. So yeah, it's just like that. They will have 3 lanes over there. And yeah, and for my experience, because I'm wearing hijab, I'm Muslim. So they also Muslim friendly. And I was very, very super grateful because I must you have to open your jacket, right, to inject it. So the doctors were the staffs, the staffs were females. and they were like, they asked me first, do you want us like put a blind or maybe like curtains for you, especially for you? We can put it. So they brought it especially for me. So they just like cover me before they inject the vaccine. So yeah, and it's really very like convenient for me to open my my jackets to swap. So yeah, because normally other people it's just like open. They do not like. I think in Malaysia they have like like special cubicles, but here we do not have that. So yeah, that is like the difference between Malaysia and UK. So yeah.
That was good to know that they were very accommodating and that the process for walking for the vaccine was very quick and very
It's very quick.
Yeah,
And
thank you so much for sharing.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Right, so just adding on to that, so definitely getting around Aberystwyth, as mentioned by Ainul as well, walking to the vaccination, the walk-in vaccination itself, you can get there by foot. So walking is a very common thing, common way of getting around Aberystwyth. In fact, it's a very scenic place. So when you're walking, especially from campus to town, it's very therapeutic because as you're approaching the town center, you can hear the sound of the waves crashing. And I would say that's a very fond memory for myself as well. But yeah, alternative ways of getting around Aberystwyth would be getting around by bus. So the bus operator would be Mid Wales Travel, and they do provide a student bus pass that is valid for the duration of your course. Okay, so you can purchase this bus pass from the Students' Union. And the majority of you are, will be staying in Kotma, either price band 1 or price band 2 residents. So the walk from the residence to the Students' Union is a very short walk. You cannot miss it. You won't get lost. Don't worry about it. So you can purchase your bus pass from there. If you're at all staying on any other university managed accommodation, don't worry. It is also a very short walk to the Students' Union. You can get your bus pass. Now, another way of getting around Aberystwyth is by taxi. So in Aberystwyth, it's very common for taxi drivers to charge a fixed rate rather than using a meter. And trust me when I say the fixed rate is much cheaper than them charging you by the meter, because it's just a short distance, and they said sometimes they'll quote their price saying like, okay, for instance, the trip from Morrison's back to your accommodation would only cost you £4. So it is really reasonable, I would say, and a very short way to get your groceries back. Traveling back after getting your groceries is a very convenient way as well. Bicycle, you can get your bicycle. You need to get a permit for that, and the permit is needed for you to park the bicycle on campus. Now, it's not so advisable to go around by bicycle because it is a very hilly area. Walking from it is a walk up the hill to get to campus, and it's a very steep hill. You might catch yourself, catching your breath. So definitely not a way. I would not advise, but most definitely you can get a bicycle if you like. Now, those of you who are thinking of getting a car, one thing you need to ensure to get is a permit. And like I said, permits are required for parking if you want to park around Aberystwyth or even on campus. Okay. Now, another thing is that the student union has some options. There are occasionally free buses that runs between town and campus, so you can use that option as well. Right. Now, in terms of making international phone calls or local phone calls, so when you are in the UK, you would need to, the area code is 01970 followed by the number. But if you're making any international calls, I know it says Malaysia here, but this is exclusive to every student as well. If you're making an international call, you will need to put your country code and omit the 0, and then plus the country code, and then followed by the whole number, but omit the 0, the first 0 at the front. Now, if you're providing your number to your families back at home, if you're wondering what's the country code for the UK, it's +44 followed by your number, but omit the first 0 at the first digit of your number, which is the 0. Okay, so if at all you're confused about it, you can ask us as well. We can guide you on it. Now, some of you might be interested to work during your studies. Now, international students are allowed to work up to 20 hours a week exclusively. You cannot go more than that. Now, the reason why is because it's according to your student visa. Your student visa only allows you to work up to 20 hours a week. And you can work during the semester, and also you can work during the semester holidays. Now, on your BRP itself, once you get your BRP, you can find this information printed on your BRP on how many hours are you limited to work in a week, right? So one of the things that you have to take into consideration if you want to work in the UK for a part-time job is you would need to apply for a national insurance number. And after you get your national insurance number, you can start applying for jobs. Now, the national insurance number is there to enable you to get paid. It's just their way of sorry about that. It's just the process of getting a job in the UK. You would need to get a national insurance number. Now, applying for a national insurance number doesn't cost any money. You would just need to apply through the government portal, or you would need to call them to apply. Please, I just need to share a quick story. When I was a student, I got scammed because I wanted to apply for a national insurance number, and I got scammed £75. So I lost that money. I wasn't able to get back that money. So just a word of advice, ensure that if you're not sure, check with the careers department. They are available on campus. They have an office in the Students' Union as well. You can seek guidance from them. Okay, right. Now, even though you're earning an income, please do not expect to pay your tuition fees with this earning. It is only enough for you to get probably your provisions and just your miscellaneous items. It is not enough for you to cover your whole cost of living, because you would be paid according to the minimum wage. Okay. And also you would be liable to pay your income tax as well, right? And it can be refunded. Sorry about that. It can be refunded at the end of the tax year, which is in April, but this will depend on your income. Right. Now, in regards to part-time jobs, definitely do your research. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're not sure of certain things and you need further guidance or assistance, please reach out to the careers department or Aber Careers. Now, you would need your national insurance number as well to work in the UK. Here are some websites that you can refer to. I've put in a total of 3 websites, so you can definitely take a picture of this just for your reference, and you can visit them at your leisure time and just read up more information on it. Okay, right. Now, home away from home, there's plenty of English language workshops and also student support. So these are all free and it runs throughout the academic year. Definitely keep a lookout for it. It is exclusive for Aberystwyth students only. This applies to students who are doing their course fully online. Doesn't mean that just because you're doing it online, you cannot have access to all of this. Make use of your opportunity. You would be able to, if I'm not mistaken, some of it would be able for virtual, right, Miss? Yeah, it will be available virtually as well. So do take the opportunity to participate in all of this. There's plenty of activities always being run by the university. All you have to do is either visit the Students' Union, just get the updates on it. They're always updating on current news and current events that are running. So that's a good place for you to check. And also counseling service. So Aberystwyth has free counseling service open to all students. Please, do reach out if you're struggling. This can be, in terms of financially, if you're struggling financially, do reach out to the counseling service. They will be able to assist you. They'll be able to guide you to the appropriate department, make some special arrangements if required at all. All you have to do is reach out and get help. Now, apart from that, you can also visit this website that I have linked over here. It is a compilation of all the different departments that you can reach out to if you need any help or advice. This includes careers department or students' well-being, even access to the disability team. This is just to name a few. Definitely do reach out to them if at all you're struggling, okay? Right. Yeah, and then this is a little bit about student life in regards to the big welcome and orientation week and the Students' Union. I will just call in Sarah Ching over here. Sarah, would you like to share as our global ambassador? Oh, I think you're on mute, Sarah.
Thanks, Dashni.
No worries, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I forgot to introduce myself just now. I'm a first-year student here at the university, and I'm studying law and also a global ambassador. So I'll be talking about the student life here at Aberystwyth. So we have many clubs and societies, over 100, and from sports to cultural to academics, there's so many for everyone to join. And during the big welcome week and orientation week is when you can sign up for these societies of your interest. So I encourage everyone to sign up for at least 2 to 3 societies of their interest, as it keeps you occupied and you would forget about your homesickness, and also you would get to meet new people when you join these societies. Also, the student union organizes lots of activities during term time, and you're encouraged to participate in these. And there are also full-time officer roles in the student union that you can run for. It is encouraged to join these officer roles, as it will look good on your CV.
Thank you, Sarah, for that. This is regarding to interfaith. Ainul, do you want to quickly share about this?
Okay, for interfaith, I must say that before you guys come here, please do install Muslim Pro or Muslim Assistant, because might help you to find Qibla, and also for prayer times. And yeah, personally, I have experienced the 4 seasons here, so the prayer times might be vary. And yeah, we experience for the Ramadan, it's very challenging for us because we experience that for the berbuka time, Maghrib time is kind of like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. So we have like 16 hours fasting because the Fajr prayer is kind of like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. So yeah, and then the Isha is like 11 p.m. So it doesn't have that slightly gap to like, to eat or something, like to supply your body to.
It's okay. I gone. I gone during fasting.
Yeah, it's very challenging. But no worries for those who will come in like September. You guys might have like, because during winter the Maghrib will be like 4 p.m. So if you guys want to like for girls, you guys want to like puasa ganti, you can like berbuka at 4 p.m. So yeah. So please do install Muslim Pro or Muslim Assistant before you guys can come here. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Ainul. Alternatively, there is links over here that has been attached in this slide. So definitely have a look out at it if you want additional information as well. Okay, so I'll just give a few seconds if you want to take a quick picture and anything. And then I'll proceed to the next slide. Right. So this is a little bit to ensure that you complete before leaving the university. Please ensure that you do update your home address and also telephone contact details. This is very important in regards to the university being able to contact you, as you need to provide a contact point for them to reach out to you if at all anything. Ensure that you pay all outstanding fees, because if you don't, then the university would not be able to provide you with your degree certificate. And also be aware when your graduation ceremony is. So this would enable you to contact with your parents or make any arrangements if your parents are coming down. Now, in regards to accommodation, please ensure that you return the room without any damages in order to get your deposit refund, you would need to provide a UK bank account number for them to transfer back the deposit to you. So ensure that you make those arrangements if you do not have a UK account. And ensure that you do collect your transcript and degree certificate if you are in the UK. If you're not in the UK, then your degree transcripts and certificate would be mailed over to you. Right. So this is in regards to after graduation. We do have a alumni association. So definitely you would be getting emails from time to time from the university in regards for updates for alumni. And also you would also have a discount to continue with to further your programs in regards to postgraduate masters. And every quarterly you will get a newsletter from the university to just update you on what the university is up to or any upcoming events. There is plenty of job opportunities available to you to access from the careers department. Just ensure that you register with them as well. And make sure that you maintain contact with your personal tutor and staff in if at all you need to get a reference letter. Right. So in regards to traveling, just a few links over here for you to refer to. Definitely you can get around by bus or by train. Megabus is a cheap option alternative for you to travel by bus around. But I'm not going to elaborate too much on that, as we need to ensure that we have some time to focus on the traveling, the most important part, which is the traveling part, how to get to the UK. All right, and ensure that you make the most of the time of your time in the UK and keep in contact through email or telephone. So thank you very much for listening, guys. I'll pass it over to you, Miss.
Thank you, Dashni. That was very, very informative. Very informative to get this information from Dash, who is our alumni, and our current students, Sarah Ching, Sarah, Nur Farhana, Ainul. Thank you so much for doing this. And without wasting much time, I'm going to pass it over to Stephen so that please let your questions come in. We will definitely address each and every one of them, but we will let Stephen present first. And so Stephen, over to you.
Okay. Before I begin, Marianne, are you able to hear me loud and clear?
Yes, we can.
Hello? Is it loud and clear? Can
Yes.
Or I need to put on the mic. I think no need to.
No, yeah, it will be. This is fine.
Okay, good. Okay, I'll start my presentation now. Just give me a minute. Okay. Before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Stephen Chan. I'm from STC Travel. Here's a quick introduction of my company. STC is a specialist in student travel. Me and my team have been doing student travel for more than 20 years. Now, even though we are student specialists, we also have a special price for your parents. We call it the accompanying parents package or the visiting parents package. At this point in time, we can only do the accompanying parents package. Parents not supposed to visit you, but they can follow you to the UK together. That way we can do that. If you need no more details of this, you can WhatsApp me. I'll let you know more details. Okay, now this is very important. Student fares are not available online. Please do not book online because student fares are not available online. Here's the difference. If you book online, you're only given 23 kilo to 30 kilo for your check-in baggage. But if you book with a student specialist like STC Travel, we are giving you 40 kilo to 46 kilo. If you exceed 1 kilo because you book online, you'll be charged 220 ringgit per kilo at the airport. So it's very expensive. Okay, and if you want to go, you want to buy a return ticket online, your ticket is only valid for 3 months from your date of travel. So don't buy the wrong ticket. Our ticket is valid for 1 year from your date of travel because you'll be studying there for almost a 1 year period. So don't buy the wrong ticket online. And there are a lot of restrictions that you need to know if you want to purchase online. And number three, when you buy online, let's say you're going for 2 ways, you are not allowed to change any date for the return. Okay, if you change, they'll charge you. But for us, we give free return date change for the coming back. And for the going, let's say you give me a departure date to go, and then before your ticket is issued, you want to change the date, you can change as many times as you want. It's free of charge as long as the ticket is not issued yet. Okay, and provided subject to availability on the same booking class lah. Now, for those who have not made a booking, I suggest you quickly do a booking now. But most students will buy a one-way ticket, no need to buy a two-way ticket. Because when you want to come back from the UK, we also have a student fare for UK back to KL from Birmingham back to Kuala Lumpur. We got the 40 kilo and the 46 kilo for students in the UK. If you buy from a travel agent in the UK, they'll give you most probably 23 kilo to 30 kilo because those are not student airfares. So we got the student airfares. And if you want to make the purchase for the coming back, you can just email to us. Your parents transfer the money and then we just email the ticket over to you. It's as simple as that lah. Okay. So you do not have to wait for your visa to come out. Then you do a reservation. You can actually do a booking now. I'm not asking you to issue. I'm asking you just to do a reservation to get the lowest price, which I will explain to you in a short while. Now, if you book online, you have to issue your ticket immediately on the spot. But if you book with STC Travel, you need to issue your ticket immediately. We still can hold your reservation up to the deadline set by the airline automatic system lah. The airline system, which is automatic one, auto system. And if you want to cancel your booking, you are not allowed to. But for us, you can cancel free before your ticket is issued. And this is the most important part. After sales service, you book online now with this kind of pandemic environment. If your ticket suddenly the airline cancel the booking, you may not even know about it because they may email to you and then you didn't see your email. But for us, we will WhatsApp you or call you. You see, so most of the students find out that their flight has either been cancelled or rescheduled only when they arrive at the airport. So very inconvenient. Okay, and then if let's say your flight is cancelled or rescheduled, we'll inform you and we'll do everything for you lah. We'll inform you and do the rest for you. Now, let's say you have issued your ticket. Okay, most of the airlines online booking do not allow you to change the date. That means you, like example, Malaysia Airlines, like example, you want to change your date. Sorry, your money is burned already. You have to buy a whole new ticket and pay the whole thing again. That's Malaysia Airlines. I'll just give you an example. But you book with us, we allow you to change your date. Let's say you issue your ticket already, then suddenly something happened. You need to change your date. No problem. We can issue for you. We can change the date for you, but there'll be a small reissue fees, which is like something like 300 ringgit plus fare difference if there's any. The whole idea is I can reissue for you. I can change the date for you. Better than those airlines who cannot change at all, you see. So there's a saying, if money can pay to solve a problem, then it's not a problem lah. Okay, so the most important is we can change for you. Now, if you look at the next slide, this student booked online and got only 30 kilo. And when she wanted to check in her bag, it exceeded 10 kilos, so she paid 220 ringgit per kilo, and she paid something like 2,000 plus because she exceeded by 10 kilo times 220 ringgit. So this is the receipt that she paid. Okay, now which airline to choose? This is very important. Firstly, I suggest all of you fly to Birmingham. Please don't fly to London. You fly to London for what? Your university is in Birmingham International Airport, which is the nearest to your university. So you fly to London, it's no point. Then how you going to find your own way by train or by another plane or by coach? It's wasting time. So you land to the place you're supposed to go lah. Okay. Now there's only two airlines to choose. These two airlines is in the amber zone. Amber zone. Please don't take Turkish Airlines. Turkish Airlines also fly to Birmingham, but Turkish Airlines is in the red list. So don't take Turkish Airlines. This is for your information. And there's no direct flight. There's no direct flight to Birmingham. It's only one transit. So you KLIA to the transit area and straight to your final destination in Birmingham. But don't have to worry. Your bags from KLIA will be checked in straight all the way to your final destination, which is in Birmingham. You need to claim your bag when you arrive at the Birmingham International Airport. Okay, now this is very important. This airline, Emirates now is in the amber list. This airline, I strongly recommend you to choose, because anyway, you got no choice. It's either this or KLM lah. Okay. Now, in this slide, you may be wondering what's all this L class, Q class, K class, U class, B class, etc. up to W class. These are all economy class. The seats are all the same. The size of the seat is the same. The food is the same. The meals are the same. The service is the same. Everything is the same. Each of these class is allocated a limited number of seats. And the lowest airfare starts from L class, you see, it's 1379 plus the airport tax is only 1839. So those who make their booking early, which is now, you can get 1839 lah. Now this one limited seats only. Once this limited seats on L class is finished or sold out already, it will go to the next level called Q class. So you pay a bit higher, which is 1979. Once it's sold out already, because got limited seats, you go to K class, you pay 3059, you etc. 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 And those who book last minute lah, okay, maybe your visa is delayed lah, you want to wait for your visa only, you issue your ticket lah and things like that lah. Then maybe you end up paying 3779 lah. Yeah. So the person paying 3779 on W class could be sitting next to the person paying on L class 1839. So I'm just trying to tell you that the difference is the guy who booked on L class did it earlier, and the guy who booked on W class did it at the last minute lah. Okay, so you have free date change before the ticket is issued. You want to cancel before your ticket is issued, is free. You pay only when you want to issue the ticket lah. So if you do the reservation now, we will tell you when is the deadline to issue your ticket. Okay, now as long as you know, as long as you got your visa appointment date, once you got your visa appointment date and you submitted your visa, submitted your application, that means you got a visa appointment date, you submitted all your documents, you did your biometric, that's the time actually you can issue your ticket already, because you can plan your timing when you're going to get the visa on the priority lane, etc. You can calculate already. So that time you should quickly issue your ticket and get the lowest booking class or whichever lowest booking class is available. This is only my suggestion. But if you want to wait until your visa, everything is all done, then it's also can, no problem. Yeah. So I can WhatsApp to you this flyer. This is the latest one. Where you can see to Birmingham, the one-way fare. I can WhatsApp to you. You just have to give me your number, then I WhatsApp to you this flyer. Okay, this one way, and this is the other one is I'm looking at this flyer. You can see it from the flyer to Birmingham, you got a one-way and a two-ways. So the one-way 1379 add with the airport tax, which is 460 . So if you want to buy the two-way, it's 2759 and add to the airport tax, which is 1320 . Okay, I'll send you the flyer when you want it, no problem. Okay, now on the next slide, this is Emirates Airline. A lot of students prefer Emirates Airline for the following reasons. They give you they're rated as the safest airline in the world, and also they have this complimentary travel hygiene kit, sanitizer, antibacterial wipes, etc. Got mask, gloves, and then the lavatory is clean every 45 minutes Okay, and all the airlines, they serve two main meals on board the plane. Two main meals, a lot of snacks in between, free flow of drinks. You want fruit juice, orange juice, all free flow, including beer. You want to drink wine. They also serve wine on board the plane. Like if you look at this KLM Royal Dutch Airline, they serve wine. They serve also the free flow of beer. So okay, the meals, the food is all halal meals. Whether it's KLM or whether it's MS Airline, it's all halal meals. You don't need to worry about that So you can enjoy your red wine or your white wine. In one bottle not enough, you take two bottles. Two bottles not, take 3 bottles. But don't drink until you get drunk. Transit so you don't know how to wake up. Okay. Now, all the airlines will have this big screen. On Emirates Airline, the screen is equal to the size of the business class. It's the biggest screen in the world compared to all the other airlines. To entertain you with 4,500 movie channels. So those movies that you miss, you can actually, or just entertain yourself on your long flight to Birmingham. Okay, moving on. This is the email address of Michelle. I can WhatsApp you all these slides after this presentation. No problem. You just WhatsApp to me. Let me know your number. I can send everything to you This is the email address of Michelle, the consultant who's going to do your flight booking. If you want to change your return date when you want to come back, also she's the one. And if let's say you buy a one-way ticket and you want to buy a one-way ticket for the coming back, you just email to this same email address to Michelle Aula. Then she will just send all the tickets to you. Okay. Now, the next slide. You must give us the departure date before we can do your booking. Otherwise, if you don't have the date, we can't do any booking at all. So you choose an arrival date where your accommodation will be ready, preferably 14 days before your orientation date. You should arrive. Okay. You can change your date for free before we issue your ticket, but subject to availability on the same booking class. And if you want to cancel your booking or reservation, it's free of charge. So just remember, even though your ticket is issued, you still can change your departure date. Okay. Now, the next airline is actually AF KLM, Air France KLM Royal Dutch Airline. This is not Afokonomi, it's Air France Royal Dutch Airline. It flies to all the UK points, including Birmingham. But if you look at this, this is Air France KLM. Okay, it flies to all the UK points. If you look at this, their fares, okay, they also got the T class, Q class, L class, H class, etc. So their lowest fare starts from 2,319, but they give you 46 kilo for your check-in baggage. 46 kilo, and your hand carry is 12 kilo. Whereas Emirates Airline only give you 40 kilo for your check-in baggage, and your hand carry is only 7 kilo. So both so depends on what you want. As you know, if you exceed 1 kilo, it's 220 ringgit. So this airline give you 46 kilo. There's a lot of weight already. Okay, now if you do a comparison, so you can forget about Turkish Airlines in the red list. You can see that Emirates Airline, you still have this price now, 1839. This price, the lowest one now, starts from this price. We have it now. So if you want to do the early bird reservation, not asking you to issue ticket, reserve first, then you can, I think you can get this price now. Now it's available. You know why now it's available? Because they just open up they just move into the amber list only. So they just open up only. Okay. Now, even though you're allowed 40 kilo or 46 kilo, you're not supposed to put all the weight into one big bag. You're not supposed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. You must split the bag. Example, you're flying on Emirates Airline, you can split the two bags, 132 kilo and 18 kilo, or 20 so can. On KLM, it's strictly 23 kilo each bag times 2, so it's 46 kilo. Okay. Next slide. You can choose your seat. If you want to choose your seat for free, then you have to wait 48 hours before departure. You go into the airline website, you can choose your seat, it's free of charge. But there's certain seats you cannot choose for free. It's like the front seat and the emergency seat. Those are very spacious seats. Or you can do it at the airport. If you can't lock in, maybe you want to lock in, the website is jammed up. You can actually go to the airport and choose your seat at the counter. But if you want us to choose the seat for you, the airlines will charge money just for your information. Okay, I'm going to finish already. Now, this is very important. The overseas student insurance. This is not travel insurance. It's overseas student insurance. It's strictly for students only. For this insurance, the whole year, the annual premium for the whole year is only 605 ringgit only. So you divide it by 365 days, is something like $1.65 a day. It covers you wherever you go. Once you're out of Malaysia, it covers you wherever you go until you come back. It's a comprehensive coverage wherever you go. You know, your NHS or your IHS only cover you in the area that you're studying in. So let's say you want to go to Europe, you want to go out of UK, want to go to Europe for a holiday or tour, you are not covered, And furthermore, on your flight from KLIA, when you're flying all the way to UK, so you got transit in some airports, all this, you're not covered. So it's important. That's why you should consider taking this overseas student insurance that covers you wherever you go. Okay, here's what it covers. First one, it covers you accidental death. The amount is $100,000. Accident death means any kind of accident, not necessarily must be car accident. Something fall on your head also accident. You walk on the floor, you sleep, and then break your backbone also accident. And if you break your teeth because of the accident, it covers you dental due to accident if you broke your teeth. Okay. Emergency evacuation. If let's say you fall off from a cliff or fall from a building or fall from somewhere, and they need to evacuate you from a remote area, they have to send the whole British Army to take you out of the place. That one is not free. They use helicopter, everything. It will cost you almost $500,000. And if let's say the person didn't make it, it fell down or whatever, then they have to send the remains back by cargo. That's why it costs you 500,000 so much. And then the next one is, let's say it covers you cancellation before departure. Let's say something happened to your immediate family on the day you're supposed to go. It covers you $10,000 And if you got illness or injury, you can see any doctor anywhere, even at the airport. Let's say you happen to be you want to see a doctor at the airport in Dubai, example and the bill came out to $500 Don't worry, all can claim one. You don't have to wait until you come back and you claim. You can email the receipt to us. Then we do the claim for you and just bank it back to your account. So no worries about that. Okay. Also, it covers you personal liability in case you damage person's property or injured someone, and the fellow want to sue you. You're covered up to $100,000. Okay. The other one, baggage. If your baggage damage also is covered. Next one is loss of money in case somebody break into your accommodation and your money is lost or you got robbed. Must be physical. You're covered also. But pickpocket, all these, you lost your money because of pickpocket, not covered. It must be like physical, they take a knife or gun in front of you or break in, then you can claim. So loss of money in the casino, also not covered. Okay. Loss of sponsorship, the person who sponsor you, if something happens, touch wood, also covered. Okay. Let's say if you are hospitalized for 10 days, 10 consecutive days, it's called study interruption. So they'll cover, it's covered. So they give a ticket to your mom or your dad, fly them all the way, and also give them accommodation. So you can see the accommodation per day is 400 ringgit up to maximum of 2,500. Okay. And also travel delay. Nowadays, with the pandemic, flights may be delayed. So they also cover you up to a maximum of 750 ringgit. So I can't show you the video because something jammed up already. So I just illustrate to you. This one is where the escalator suddenly lost control and the speed was like a roller coaster. It's just okay. This incident alone, you have personal accident, and then you could be very badly injured. They have to emergency evacuate you from the place. And during the accident, you push somebody, you push someone, the fellow want to sue you, that's called personal liability. And then due to this accident, if your injury is really severe, you have to be hospitalized. It's also covered. And if you're hospitalized for more than 5 days, it's also covered. It's called study interruption, etc., etc., etc. So just one incident alone can so many things can happen. Okay. This one is this girl. She did a bungee jump. The guy forgot to put the bungee cord. So she jumped down without the bungee cord. Obviously, kaput. I don't think can survive. So this one is called emergency evacuation. They have to bring a helicopter maybe to bring the person out of the place. And if don't survive, send back the body by cargo. Okay. But I can send you the slides. I can show you the video. The very short video, only 5 seconds video only, or 10 seconds video. If you want, I can show you the video through the WhatsApp. I can WhatsApp to you. So some students say, yeah, this one won't happen to me. This type of things, I'm very careful. I don't mind telling you, accident can happen anytime when you're not ready for it. It just happens only. Like this couple, take photograph also can die one. They fell off the cliff because they took a selfie. Then the person taking the photograph asked them to move back some more, then just fell off the cliff. Okay, now, last one. This is a very important travel tips. Please pay full attention. Your hand carry, for KLM, you're allowed 12 kilo. For Emirates, you're allowed 7 kilo. Now, there's certain things you're not allowed to put in your hand carry, but you want to bring, you can bring. You must check in. Okay, what are these things? Like sharp objects, like your scissors, pen knife, kitchen knives, all the sharp objects. If you want to bring, can bring, but you must check in. You cannot hand carry. Okay, including fingernail clippers, must check in. They scared you hijack the plane. You catch the air hostess. Give me the plane or cut your fingernails. Very dangerous. They also must check in. Liquid items must not be more than 100 ml. So what are the liquid items? Your perfume, your expensive perfume, your Giorgio Armani perfume, your Gucci perfume is more than 100 ml. You must check in. You cannot hand carry. Your body lotion, okay, if it's more than 100 ml, you must check in. You cannot hand carry. If you put it in your hand carry, when you're about to enter the plane, they check it's more than 100 ml. they will take all your expensive perfume and your expensive lotion and throw everything in the dustbin. You cannot bring it aboard the plane. There's no time to turn back and check in. Okay, just for information. So remember, you want to bring this can, but you must check in. Put in your check-in luggage. Including holy water. Some students, they bring holy water to UK. Scared the apartment they stay got ghosts. If it's more than 100 ml, so must check in. Okay, moving on. Now, all electronic items, that means your power bank, your laptop, your handphone, anything to do with electronic must be hand carry. This one must be hand carry. You cannot check in. This is the reason why. You look at this picture at the bottom. The power bank burst into flames on one of the flights. So they can see the flame. So the air hostess took the orange juice and just put off the flame. That's it. Game over. Finished. No big deal. But imagine if you check in the electronic items, and if it bursts to flame, nobody will know. Nobody can see it. So this is the reason why all electronic items must be hand carry. Okay. Check-in luggage. Please do not put any valuable items in your check-in luggage. Or your Rolex watch, your jewelry, whatsoever. Anything expensive, including your video camera, and whatever expensive documents. All these valuable items you must hand carry. Because if you put in your check-in luggage, I guarantee you my last dollar, it will be stolen. And if it's stolen, you cannot take any action against the airline or the airport because there's a big exclusion clause that says no valuable items to be checked in. Okay? Otherwise, everybody will be claiming that I lost 10 Rolex watch or I lost 5 diamond rings. Everybody will be making that kind of claim. Label your bag. Tie a ribbon. You can tie a very colorful ribbon, so from far I can see it's all your bags. Okay? Take a photo of your bag in case missing. Take a photograph of your bag. So in case missing, you make a report. You can show them, the photo of how your bag looks like. Don't be like some students lost their bag. So want to do a claim. The officer asks, how does your bag look like? Got photo or not? The first say no photo. So your bag how? My bag black in color one with 2 roller. They ask, can give me more description? Then the student say, got 1 zip and 1 handle. They tell you got to take a long time at the airport. Okay, the next one, things to bring. For those of you who are smokers, get your cigarettes at KLIA airport. You only allow 1 carton. You want to buy in the UK also can. You have to pay something like 10 times or 15 times more than what you pay here. So for those of you who are smokers, get a 1-year supply. All your friends who don't smoke, ask them to carry for you. Or tumpang, carry for you. Spectacles. Please remember to bring an extra pair of specs when you go to the UK. Okay, it's quite expensive in the UK. So you must bring an extra pair in case if your specs broke. Maybe winter too cold, your specs break. Then you at least got a spare one. Okay, moving on. Now, you have to, on your day of departure, you have to arrive at the airport 3 to 4 hours, the best 4 hours before departure. Be in the airport, not start from your house, already in the airport. Because you may, when you go to the airport, maybe something happened along the way, you took the wrong turn or whatever it is, got traffic jam, roadblock, police block, this and that. At least you got time, you see. So don't go. So you best to be early. Okay, now this is very important. Those flying on Emirates Airline, please take note of this. Let's say your flight is on the 14th of September to Birmingham, for example. So this is your flight number, EK343 is your flight number. ETD 210 is actually Malaysian time. ETA actually is a Dubai time, you arrive in Dubai. Then Dubai to UK, this is a flight number EK35, depart on Dubai time 7:25 and arrive into UK time 12:05. So you must be in the airport on the 13th of September at 11 p.m. because when the clock strikes 12, you become the 14th. Okay, so don't be like some students, you see 14 go, miss 14 go. Cannot, because it's a midnight flight. You have to go on the 13th, 4 hours before departure. At 11 p.m, you should be in the airport. Okay, otherwise, when the clock strikes 12, you won't turn to Cinderella. You will just miss your flight only. Okay, moving on the next slide. Okay, when you are at the airport, you no need to weigh your bag. Okay, you no need to x-ray your bag. You have to weigh your bag. So you just go to the respective counter. You'll be getting 2 boarding passes. If let's say you're flying on KLM, you get KL to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Birmingham lah. But you're flying on Emirates, you get KL to Dubai, then Dubai to Birmingham. All the boarding passes, you get it at KLIA airport. Your bags will be checked straight through all the way to your final destination to Birmingham lah. So they will weigh your bag. So if your bag exceed 1 or 2 kilo, you just buat bodoh, pretend don't know ni lah. Don't so fast want to kanchong. I'll take out your purse and want to pay the money and no need to so kanchong. Sometimes 1 or 2 kilo exceed, so you don't care one. Okay, next one. Now once you got your boarding pass already and your bags all checked in already, please don't waste time. Immediately go to level 4 and clear immigration. Why do I tell you this? Because most of them, they already checked in their bags, got the boarding pass. They're still at level 5 doing the farewells. All hugging, kissing, crying lah. So many things to talk. House starting to talk. Airport, so many things to talk. Boyfriend, girlfriend don't see each other for a few days. The fellow cannot tahan. Now don't see for 1 year. Wow, crying lah. Blood coming out from the nose lah. Yeah, don't go lah. Don't go lah. Don't forget there's a flight waiting for you, and you have to be in the departure lounge. 40 minutes before departure, in the departure lounge, waiting for them to call you to board the plane. Okay. Even though you're in Dubai, also same thing. I don't go simply go around shopping, go here, go there. You must make sure you be in the departure lounge. The best is 45 minutes before departure. You're in the departure lounge, waiting for them to ask you to board the plane lah. Yeah. Just to give you an example of this case, I'm going to finish with just 2 more slides to go. This mother and daughter lah. The daughter went shopping until don't know got a plane waiting for them one. So the mother have to lie down on the aero bridge so that the aircraft the plane don't shut the door. No, so she delayed the flight for 30 minutes just because the daughter was shopping lah. Please don't do this. If you are not in by then, the airline have every right to take off your bags and off-board you from the plane. That's it. Ask you to go back already. Then you have to take the next flight, pay the whole thing again. Yeah, and then maybe if you delay the flight, they'll fine you also lah. Okay, just take note of this lah. Okay, so upon your arrival, you just clear immigration, etc. Now, I want to share these few things with you. 72 hours, you all know you have to do a PCR test. It's not just a PCR test. You must be specific. It's called RT-PCR test. Don't worry, when you do the flight booking with us, we'll put this in writing. When we send you the flight ticket, we'll show you it's called the RT-PCR test. R means Romeo Tango, RT-PCR test. So you want to make sure that when you go to the lab to do your PCR test, you see you want the RT-PCR test because you're boarding the flight to fly to another country. And number 2, of course, the travel locator form, all this was sent to you. That's not a problem. Okay. And number 2, you must have a My Travel Pass before you can even exit out of the country. You must have a My Travel Pass. If you don't know how to apply the My Travel Pass, don't worry, I got the link for you. Very simple one. Okay, I even tried out myself also, even though I'm not flying. I also tried myself. It's so simple. Okay, you just have to upload your passport and whatever documents that you think is relevant to show that you're really going overseas to study, like your CAS letter, your letter of offer. No need to upload your visa. No need to upload your visa. Minimum is letter of offer, but of course you got more like CAS letter and your student ID or whatever, or where you're staying. You just show them that I'm serious, I'm really going. So you just upload all these documents to show your seriousness that you're really going. It's a genuine thing lah. Okay. I will give you my WhatsApp number in the next slide. This is my WhatsApp number lah. Okay, 012-290-6883. You can WhatsApp me. I can send you all the slides and also the video that I couldn't play here. Yeah, so those who have not done the reservation, I would suggest you quickly do your reservation. Once you've done your reservation, there'll be a airline auto deadline set. They will inform you when is the deadline to issue the ticket lah. Okay, so you have to decide whether you want to issue. If you don't want to issue, just cancel it first or you don't want to do your booking first. But once you got your visa appointment ready, you can actually do your booking and quickly issue the ticket also can no problem And actually you can also do your reservation because I think the deadline usually is maybe 14 days before the 14 days before departure or 1 month. Actually, it's 1 month before departure So maybe right now, because it's very nearer to September, the deadline will be shortened. So whatever the deadline is, I don't decide when it's automatically set by the airline, but it's something like maybe 14 days for you to decide to issue a ticket, etc. Whatever Okay. So thank you very much. This is all on my presentation. I'll be here if for Q&A lah. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much, Stephen. That was very, very informative, and I definitely laughed a lot with some of the things that you mentioned. So, but unfortunately, we can only see a certain part of you. So, yeah, we couldn't see your expression much. Anyway,
okay.
Without wasting much time, I think we have quite a number of questions that has been addressed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the questions, and I am basically going to address it to whoever it is. So please be patient with me, yeah? Okay. Okay, so to start off with, good day, Miss. I'll be flying over next year, January. When is the due date to pay the deposit and settle everything to get my CAS letter? Can I pass this on to Rishka, please? Sorry, Rishka, you're mute at this point.
Sorry. So if you are flying in on January, I would say to pay your deposit as soon as possible, because the deposit deadline is on 21st of August, which is not long. It's going to be there next week already. So yeah, so everything, once you pay your deposit, all other things will fall into place accordingly, like your accommodation, your CAS letter, your visa, what else, your student IT account, everything will start working from the moment you pay your deposit. So I would say try and pay your deposit by most probably next week, Wednesday. Okay, don't wait until 21st to pay your deposit, just pay as soon as possible. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're flying in on January or what, pay as soon as possible. Okay, yeah.
Great, thank you, Rishka. Okay, the next question. Hi, Miss, I'm planning on doing priority visa, but VFS is closed due to the lockdown. So when the lockdown is lifted, there may be a lot of people who will be doing priority visa at the same time. Do you think because of that, it may end up the similar amount of time as visa route? Shall I take this question?
Yep.
Okay, yes. We are very much aware of the current situation where VFS is closed, or VFS is actually open, but they have very, very limited slots. They have roughly about 10 to 15 slots a day, and it is being grabbed really fast. It's just like how we were all fighting for Zeneca jabs, and we were all in different gadgets trying to book an appointment. Okay, so if you're planning to do a priority, we'll definitely encourage you to do a priority. Okay, why? Because there may be possibility for it to delay a bit, but it will definitely not delay as much as standard time. All right, so because you have paid for a priority service, VFS will definitely prioritize your application. Okay, I hope I've answered that question. So definitely please go ahead with priority visa. The next question is, hello, Miss. My name is Shahil. I've applied for my visa and I do have travel history. I have mentioned them while filling out my visa form, but I forgot to give my old passports. So do you think that's going to be a problem? Though the dates on the previous travels were right. Dash, you want to take the question?
Yep, I can take that question, Miss. Thank you. So in regards to this, as long, I would say it would not be a problem, as the most important document is your current passport that needs to be valid. When you're providing the information for your previous travel history, you need to ensure that you provide as accurate as possible the arrival dates and the departures date. So as long as you complied with that, it would not be a problem.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dash. Moving on to the next question. My appointment was on the 5th of August and I did not opt for priority visa. So will it affect my flight date as well? Shall I pass this question over to Rishka?
Yeah, so if your appointment's on 5th of August, you're flying in on 15th of September, it shouldn't be a problem because it's more than 3 weeks already. You should be getting your visa, okay? But in case anything at all, if there's a possible, there could be a possible delay, okay? If there's a possible delay, then don't worry about it. You can always start online, and then you can always fly in when you get your visa, okay? All right.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rishka. The next question, if I've applied for a scholarship, what's the earliest date I'll be informed whether I got it or not? I think I'll take this question, if it's all right. Okay, it depends on what kind of scholarships that you have applied for. If you have applied for a scholarship through an institution, normally the results of it would be released somewhere around early September or second week of September, once all the students have confirmed. However, if there are other scholarships that you have applied for, there would be deadlines. So please do check with us. It depends on what are the kinds of scholarships that you have applied for. Okay. The next question we have is James has already submitted his visa extension on 9th August, but he did not opt for the express service and was told his visa will be issued in 2 weeks. Do you think we will be in time? 9th, 2 weeks, probably by the 23rd. Okay, I think this question, I will take that as well. So I think it should be okay. Looking at the time frame they have given is 23rd. He should be able to make it for the airport pickup. But if there's any delay, do let us know as well. Yeah. Okay. The next question. Hi, Miss. I've applied for my visa and all. Unfortunately, till November, all slots of appointments are taken up. Will it cause any problem as I will be flying in January? Dash, do you want to take this question?
Yep, I'll take this question. So right now, we do understand that there's very limited slots available for VFS here in Kuala Lumpur. So I would say definitely once there is a slot available, book the earliest date. When it comes to your visa application, there would be a segment where they ask you to provide a detail on your intended date of arrival into the UK. So just to let you know that when Home Office, UK Visa and Immigration is processing your visa, they do take into consideration the date that you're flying in as well. So I would say it should be okay, but definitely do update us from time to time so that we'll be able to liaise with the university as well.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dash. Okay, the next question. Good afternoon, Miss. I have several questions. No problem at all. Okay, number 1. I have received a fully funded scholarship, including the living expense as it's shown on CAST letter. Do I still need to prepare the financial documentation? Rishka, do you want to answer that?
Okay, so if you have a sponsor letter, and it means it works as a loan, you don't have to show your financial declaration. You just have to carry the sponsor letter with you at all times.
I can't hear you. I can't hear.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Do you want to try and log out and log in again?
All right, so yeah, this is only for sponsors. You just make sure that you carry your sponsor letter with you at all times.
Okay.
Did I miss anything?
And the second question is, I have completed the accommodation license pack and I need to show up by 28th September to secure the residence. But since I can only book my visa appointment on the 9th of September, I don't think I can arrive before the date. What should I do? Rishka?
Okay. Again, don't worry about it at all. You can always get in touch with accommodation and tell them that you won't be arriving on 25th of September. Okay, so I'm pretty sure accommodation will be sending out emails again to all students generally to make sure when to actually ask for which exact date you guys will be arriving. And the university is well aware that the visa appointments are all being delayed. Okay, one more thing that you should know that first is your accommodation will start accordingly. That means from the moment you're there, it will start accordingly, and your fees, the accommodation fees that needs to be paid, will start accordingly when you are there. So that means they won't make you pay for extra tenancy weeks at all. All right, so just remember that.
Great, thank you, Rishka. Okay, the next question is, can we request for a copy of the accommodation contract? We need to attach this in the visa application, I think. Dash, do you want to take this question?
Yep, I can. I would say that you could provide a copy of the accommodation license pack, but alternatively, you can get in contact with the accommodation department to see if they can further provide a document that you can issue together with your visa application mark.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dash. Okay, the next question, photocopied book as in, so I presume the document, I mean the stuffs that you can carry to UK. Can I get Dash to answer this, please?
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so in regards to photocopied books, I mean, I'm just talking just generally when it comes to students getting their materials to study. If you were to get a textbook, the full cost of a textbook is very expensive. So there are counterfeit textbooks, and that's what we meant by photocopy books, because it goes against the copyright laws. And in the UK especially, they are against counterfeit goods. So definitely do not carry anything counterfeit with you. This includes textbooks. They're very strict about it.
Again, you have the National Library of Wales in Aber, so you have access to all these resources being in Aberystwyth. Okay, so thank you for that, Dash. The next question is, how do we know if we receive the International Accommodation Award? Rishka, do you want to take that question?
Yeah, okay. This one is a bit tricky question. When you make an application for your accommodation, if you chose International Accommodation Award, that means it's confirmed. That means you will get the International Accommodation Award. Okay, so it's either you chose for the Cottmore residence, which is completely free, that you don't have to pay at all, or you opt for another accommodation, other university managed accommodation, and where you get the £2,000 discount. All right, so all international students are eligible for the International Accommodation Award. So it's just a matter of whether you choose the free one or the discounted one. That's all. All right, so you should be getting a confirmation email of which allocation accommodation will be allocated into. If you have not gotten it, I would say keep in touch with Dash or me. We'll be able to sort it out for you. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, the next question. Hi, I'd like to ask about flying into the UK and making the journey to Aber. Would it be best to fly into London Heathrow or Manchester Airport? Would immigration process be easier in either locations? Also, what time would airport pickups be? Any one of you want to take the question, or shall I address it?
Anything. I'm okay with anything.
Okay, then Dash, please go ahead.
Okay, so in regards to flying into the UK, definitely Heathrow International Airport would not be the best choice, because the travel distance to get to Aberystwyth is very long. Firstly, you would need to travel from London Heathrow to Euston Station, and then take a train from London Euston all the way to Birmingham, and then from Birmingham you have to take another train to Aberystwyth. So if we're talking about traveling duration wise, it'll take close to 6 hours with all the transits from the international airport, taking the trains and everything. If you're going to take a bus, it's going to take more than 7 hours. So definitely London Heathrow is not a convenient place to fly into. It might be cheaper, but it's not convenient to travel to Aber. In regards to flying into Manchester Airport, you can fly into Manchester Airport. However, I would not recommend it. The best airport to fly into would be Birmingham. But nevertheless, if you only have the option to fly into Manchester, then it would be a total of 2 train. You would need to exchange trains twice, and then make your way to Aber. In regards to immigration process, would it be easier in either locations? I cannot guarantee that. That is definitely something to do with the immigration of UK. But in terms of traffic-wise, the amount of the traffic in Heathrow is much more higher than other airports. So immigration will take a slower time to get through in Heathrow compared to other airports. However, I cannot guarantee which process would be easier in which location. In regards to airport pickup, I am not too sure about airport pickup time. Mrs. Tess, do you have this information?
I'll handle that. Okay. So when the airport pickup is being arranged, they might have 2 airport pickups a day. So what we would normally encourage is we will time you to arrive around the pickup time, or if you arrive way earlier, you will follow in for the next pickup slot. Okay. So again, that is why it's very, very important for you to keep us posted on your flight arrivals, every detail. In fact, we will be contacting you to obtain all this information so that we can group all of you together. And that is why we keep emphasizing, please try and group together, fly together, so that this process becomes much easier for us to pass to the university. Okay. The next question.
Can I add something about the flight?
Please, Stephen. Yes.
Yeah, the cheapest flight now to London. Most of the cheapest flight already full house already. Actually, it starts from 1799, the cheapest flight. Okay, I think now it's selling at 2009. As I mentioned, to Birmingham it's only 1849. So it's much cheaper to fly to Birmingham than to London now, you see. So why you fly to London, then you take the train, you add up everything, it could be more expensive, way more expensive than your flight to Birmingham, which is only 1849. This is one of the reasons also why to fly to Birmingham.
True, that is very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen. That's very helpful. Okay, the next question is, will all this information be sent over to us via email? Yes. First of all, you have your useful links, which we have provided you with. And a copy of these presentations will be sent to you via email as well. All right. We have a question here for Stephen. If I transit in Dubai, which zone will I fall into? From the country I depart from, or is the question?
Okay, very simple. Okay, we are now, Malaysia is now in the amber zone. Malaysia is now in the amber zone. Wait, I put on my video first. Okay, Malaysia is now in the amber zone. So amber to amber will be amber. Okay, so if Malaysia goes to a green zone, amber to green will still be amber. But if Malaysia goes to a red zone like a Turkish airline, amber to red will become red. So in other words, Malaysia is amber, flight to Dubai is also amber, it still be amber. So even let's say you take example Singapore Airlines to London, Singapore is in green, so amber to green will still be amber. You got my point,
Yeah, I got a quick question, Stephen. What if a student flies from a red zone to an amber zone? Would it still be red?
Red zone to red. We look at the worst color. If you fly from a worst, that means whatever you take the worst one. So if you're from a red zone, you become red. Don't care whether you go into a green zone, you will not turn green, you will still be red. It's as simple as that, the formula. So let's say you are from a green zone, suddenly you go and use Turkish airline, which is the red zone, you become red. That's it. They look at the worst one. You got my point. So
that's a very valid point.
Either in the middle. Yeah.
Thanks, Stephen.
By the way, before you can maybe email my slides to all of them, so no problem.
For sure.
Email my slides. But those who want about the insurance one or the video, I can WhatsApp to me lah. So it's easier for me lah. Okay, good.
Sure. Okay, the next question, I think this would also be addressed to Stephen, but hold on, let me just see. I own a Shinai. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I own a Shinai, which is a bamboo training sword, to the UK, which, if I remember correctly, is considered a dangerous weapon under UK law. I know how to acquire a license for it in the UK. However, who would I ask for advice on what process, if any, I would need to go through to bring it through customs? Stephen?
This one, I think, this one just sent by courier out in the Finnish law. Of course, if you carry it, nobody knows what's going to happen. I say no, he will say yes. No, nobody knows, you see, because immigration, we don't know what they're thinking, you see. We are not supposed to know what they're thinking. Even though how are you going to get the permission down here? Because you need to have a license when you're already in the UK. So when you enter the UK, do you have the license or not? So I think the easiest way is to send it by courier.
Okay.
All right. Send it by courier is the easiest way.
Okay,
then you don't have to worry about getting the risk of being confiscated, etc., question you and things like that.
Sure. Okay. We actually have about half an hour to go. I'm going to try and get the answers for the questions as much as we can. However, if we do not get all these answered in time, don't worry. We will compile all these questions and we'll key in the answers and send it to all of you who participated, okay? So the next question is, what are the proposed dates for the C students meet and greet? Okay, for this point of time, we are sticking on to 13th of September for those who can fly. For students who have a later visa appointment dates or who obtain their visas later, we will try and group them by the month. So say, for example, for students who are getting their visas by November, we'll group a flight for them to fly off in November, or if they get it by December, then they fly off by December, for those who really want to go, okay? So at this point of time, we can't give you a guaranteed date. We are sticking on to the September date first, and we will take it on from there. Please do get in touch with us for the most recent update. All right. The next question has been answered by Dash, and following that, we have people from amber list countries, when they arrive in Aber, are paying for accommodation during the 10-day self-quarantine. Shall I just take this question?
Yeah.
Okay. So students going in from an amber list country, you're allowed self-isolation, which means you'll be staying in your own accommodation. Anyway, you will be paying for your accommodation already. However, the only difference is when you're coming in from a red zone country. All right. So amber list, you are in your accommodation itself. There's no additional charges to it. The next question, I think, has been answered as well. Is it really required for us to open a bank account? Ainul has been kind enough to answer that question. And the following question as well, which is there a Sethender branch in town, which has also been addressed by Ainul? Okay. The following question is, will the orientation be held online for those who couldn't arrive on time? Rishka, you want to take that question?
Yeah, so orientation, if you all cannot reach on time, orientations will be done online. The orientation links and all is provided in the useful links PDF form that we've been mentioning. So just keep looking out for it. We'll be sending it as soon as possible. Okay. Or you can actually, I think they can access it from here, right?
Yes, the form is at the useful
so the form
links.
Is there, so you can just download it there. So orientation link, every other link are all in there.
Okay. Thank you so much. The next question is, Is Aber Uni ID the UCAS ID where we access the track? Dash, do you want to answer that?
Yep, thanks, Miss. So your UCAS ID is different and separate from your Aber Uni ID. You will get your Aber Uni ID after you have activated your Aber IT account. Keep a lookout on your emails for the Aber IT account. Set it up, and once you have set it up, you will receive your Aber Uni ID. It will be a 9-digit number.
Okay, great. Thank you. In fact, the following question also maybe you should take it, which is for activating the Aber IT account, when do we get the 9-digit activation code?
Okay, thanks, Miss. Right. So you would get an email that would ask you to set up your Aber IT account, and in that same email, they would put there your activation code followed by this 9-digit number. So just wait for the email. If it's taking a bit long and you feel like you've not received the email and you've been waiting forever, I would suggest you to email information service. If you would like, I can provide you the email address quickly. It's I for Indonesia, S for Singapore, small, alias, aber.ac.uk. So you can get in contact with them as well.
Okay, great. The next question. Can I know how many societies, clubs can a person join? Sarah Ching, would you like to take this question?
As I mentioned, there are over 100 clubs and societies, but you are entitled to join as many as you want. However, I would recommend joining about 2 to 3 so that it won't compromise with your workload.
Great, thank you, Sarah. The next question is, do we have the option to choose online learning? Rishka?
Online option, there is an option for you to do it online, but I have to emphasize that it's not for all departments. We are offering fully online options for those BAC students doing their final year law. All right. So, but since the visa and all is being delayed and everything, so I would say the online option would be available for the first SEM and only the first SEM. All right, then you will have to fly in when you get your visa. That's the update for now. But if we have an update whether or not you can still continue to do online even after your first SEM, we will definitely let you know.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rishka. Next question. How about the exam? Is it face-to-face or online? Dash, do you want to take the question?
Yep, I can. Right. So this would depend on the situation that, as in the government SOP. So if you are on campus and the government SOPs allows for face-to-face teaching, then exams can be held physically. If at all the situation isn't as such, then exams would be moved online, and you would be given a time duration in which you have to submit your reply by, your answers by. The same goes for online assessments. If you're doing your online assessments, if you're doing your whole year online, then it would consist of submitting your assessments through the portal for Turnitin, or you would take your exams online as well.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dash. Next question. It was basically addressed to Ainul, but I think she has already addressed it on the study from home option. Okay, the study from home option is a very good topic. So students will be sent, those who have chosen an online option, students will be sent a link which guides you through studying home. You will need to fill up the form and let us know that you are going to do it online. Okay, so you need to fill that up so that the university is well aware of it. Okay, the next question I think is specifically for Ainul. Hi Ainul, for assignment exam, is there a maximum percentage of for Turnitin report allowed?
Actually, is it for exams?
It mentions here for assignments, exams. Is there a...
Assignments. Or like for the limit for the percentage, is it?
I suppose so.
Okay. I must say that the lecturers here doesn't like particular about the percentage. They just want to see if you reference it right. For example, for us LLB law students, we usually use for scholar. So if you correctly reference it and then like make it bibliography for stuff, and then yeah. So I think it doesn't like particularly about the percentage or so on. So yeah, lecturers here are very lenient and kind of. But if like particular for the strict lecturers, they might be looking for that. But no worries. Like majority lecturers here are very lenient. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Aino. The next question, will the deadline for the test and assignment be adjusted according to our time zone? A very good question. At this point of time, if you are allowed to do online, the assessments, they would advise you on what are the time zones which will be followed, which we do not have information to that, but it's a very good question. We will definitely address it, and once we have an update, we will keep you posted. Okay. The next question, for students doing fully online, will we be able to choose any modules available, or are there specific modules only available to us? Rishka, you want to take that question?
Yeah, like I mentioned just now, online and face-to-face, there's no difference. There's no specific modules that you can choose from because of the fact that you're doing it online. Because I think if that happens, you will be put at a disadvantage compared to those who are doing face-to-face. So your modules will be available, every single course department, your modules will be available in the website itself. If you're a law student, third-year law student, I'm pretty sure I have given you guys a list of the approved modules from y'all to choose from y'all to choose from. All right, so yeah, there is no other specific modules just because you're doing online. You can choose, you're free to choose any modules that we offer.
Okay, thank you, Rishka. Next question, what is the percentage of plagiarism allowed for an assignment? Dash, do you want to take the question?
Yeah, most certainly, Miss. Right. So in terms of plagiarism, like I mentioned earlier, as long as you provide the proper citations included in your footnotes, provide all the information in your bibliography according to the referencing style, then you would be okay. Now, the university doesn't pardon if you have extracted a line from an article and do not provide proper referencing. They do not pardon that. They're very strict about it. But in terms of percentage, there isn't an exact percentage. Like I said, as long as you give the proper citations, you are safe.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dash. Next question, regarding the assignment, coursework and course structure and attendance, does it work the same for PhD students? Yeah, I'll take this question. Basically, it will, for PhD students, you'll be corresponding closely with your supervisor. So your assessments, your exams might be very different than postgraduate and undergraduate students. So it's best to check with your course, your individual supervisor. Okay. The next question we have is, are we eligible for the NHS COVID pass? If not, how can we prove that we have been vaccinated while in the UK? Any one of you want to take the question, or shall I take this?
I think Miss,
if you take about it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The NHS COVID pass, you can only take it if you have been in the UK for duration. And if you are, or the other alternative is if you are applying from the US. These are the only two ways where they will exempt you off. Okay, so you, for an international students coming, not besides US, if you're an international student, you will not be eligible for the NHS COVID pass. Okay, so you have to speak to your GP and see We are not saying that the vaccination that you've taken in Malaysia is not valid or anything like that. Please, like what they have mentioned earlier, please show your digital certification to your GP so that they can advise you on the next step. All right. Next, we have a question which I think has been answered as well. Is it snowing in Aber? The picture of snow, is it? Normally, Aber doesn't snow, but thanks to global warming, our students have been able to see snow for the past couple of years. Okay. Then we have some comments. I'm sorry, I'm going through everything. The next is for those who are doing the degree online, if by next year we are allowed to travel, and if Malaysia becomes a green listed country, can we fly to the UK for graduation? Rishka.
Yeah, you will be able to fly in for graduation. I think it wouldn't matter if you are coming from a green zone, amber or red, but if you have permission to travel, especially for graduation, shouldn't be a problem. But again, we have to see what's going on next year all the way, because we still have, I think, about 1 whole year to wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, yes, you can fly in.
Okay, great. We have a question here on, for instance, a student wants to complete the course fully online. How will they receive their certificates? The certificates will definitely be sent over to your home. Now, speaking about certificates, I got something to share with you all. Please, please, please make sure that you have keyed in your name correctly in your certificates. I've had many, many instances where students don't update their names on their system. If there's an anak lelaki or an anak perempuan or a bin or a binti and it's not mentioned in your system, you don't update your system. You come back home, request for a certification. UK will not be able to update it. Okay, so please make sure that you do update your details correctly when you are in the UK. All right, the next question is for Stephen. For STC travel, do you also cater for students from the Philippines? Stephen?
Sorry, we do at the moment. At the moment, we do for out of Kuala Lumpur and out of Singapore. We can do, but out of Philippines at the moment, not able to. Not able to. Sorry.
Okay, all right. I'm not. Thanks, Stephen. The next question is this only available for Malaysia to UK? I suppose it's a question for you too as well, Stephen. It's in terms of the price listings.
What's the question again? Sorry.
Is the price listings only available for flights from Malaysia to UK?
Yes, at this point, yes. Our flight listing is from Kuala Lumpur to the UK, but we also have a price listing from Singapore to the UK. So at the moment, we only have out of Kuala Lumpur and out of Singapore. But Singapore is for Singaporeans, not for Malaysians. It's for Singaporeans.
Okay.
Okay. The very next question is also, I think, Stephen, maybe you can type in your contact details, WhatsApp number here in the comments, because there's students who have asked for your WhatsApp number. And the very next question is, January, by which date do we have to be on campus? So for January intake, we would encourage you to fly in just before the start of your second semester. All right. We'll provide you with the dates. If you look at your term time, just before you start your second semester, you will be required to be in the UK. All right. The next question is, I believe one of the primary reasons for the massive jam up with BFS slots would be the pandemic. Would there be any other reasons other than that? In all honesty, yes, it is due to the pandemic, because complying with the SOP set, and unfortunately, the moment VFS Malaysia opened up, within a couple of days, they had to close down again due to a case on site. So they're being extremely cautious. So that is one of the biggest reasons why the delay. But they're working towards it. British High Com, British Council, all the UK universities that have regional offices here, and also in the UK, everyone is working with the Malaysian government to see what we can do. Unfortunately, we don't have a specific answer for now. Okay. The next question, while looking at the CAS draft, may I ask what should I look out for? Rishka.
You should definitely look out for every single thing. There's not specifically what you should look out for. Okay, make sure all your details are correct, because they might be not fussy, I would say, but it will take time for you to, like, for example, you have really checked and then you get your final CAS, and then you found a mistake which you didn't see it in your draft CAS. It might take a bit more longer time for them to issue a new CAS for you then. So check 100 times before you submit and before you email them. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, now that Rishka has mentioned something, it just came on top of my head. Please remember that the university is a big institution. There are so many departments that don't get in touch with each other. You may have standard emails that you receive, and you may have repeated emails. Please don't panic. Don't fall into anxiety. Don't think that your documents are not being sent. Don't think that we have ignored you completely. That is why we are there as the regional office here. So we are here to guide you. Whatever it is, get in touch with us so that we are your channel to inform UK. Look, these are the students coming from Southeast Asia. You need to prioritize, okay? So don't panic. And just, everybody might not correspond, but we will get to it. Okay. And the other thing is the next question. How do I register for the fully online option? Registering for the fully online option, number one, you have to let us know. Once you let us know, we will tell you how to go by it. Okay. The next question is, hi there, I've added all my travels in my visa application. However, I do not have stamp on my passport for my Hong Kong trip. Will this affect my application? If you have mentioned your dates in your travel history, they should have all the records of it on the system. Okay, that is why we tell you to specifically mention your travel dates. The stamps being there, not that, don't worry, they have those records and they will check on it. Okay, it shouldn't affect your application. The free accommodation also still requires £100 deposit. I believe you don't need to pay, but again, because it's a deposit, they might require for you to make a deposit payment.
Come in there, miss.
Yeah,
Sorry.
please,
so yes, even though they go for the free accommodation, they will still need to confirm with the £100 deposit. So the deposit works as an acceptance of them receiving that accommodation.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for clarifying that. That's very helpful. Okay. The next question. Hi, miss. A very good evening. Do I still require to pay the £100 deposit for Kopmoa? Okay, I think we have addressed it. Yes, you will be required to pay the £100 deposit. Again, provided you don't damage anything in your room, everything is okay, they will refund it back to you. Okay. Sorry, but I just want to reconfirm the example. If I've answered a case related to a question, I can use case ABC with its citation and how it's being handled, but in my own opinion, understanding, and in my own words, right? I think this has got to do with plagiarism.
I think I can take that. Okay.
Okay.
So, right. Perhaps just an example, if you're talking about a case related question, and let's just say it's case ABC against DEF, for instance, what I would suggest is, if you want to handle your own opinion, but your opinion is based on a judgment, a descending judgment, what I would suggest is citate the descending judgment by which judge is it by, followed by your own opinion. So you're saying that your opinion is based on the descending judgment. So in that kind of instances, it will be okay. I hope that helps answer your question.
I'm sure it does. Okay. We only have about 15 minutes. I'm so sorry to rush this through again. If we don't answer, I'll try and finish it as fast. Okay. Hi, I've booked an appointment from VFS, but I didn't opt the priority visa. Now I can't add this service from the webpage. Can I request for this service when I attend the visa center? I would strongly suggest for you to do it before. Get in touch with us. We'll show you how to do it. All right. So message us so that we guide you on how to go to VFS Global. Hi, Miss. Easter term, Monday 25th April to Saturday 28th April. 28th May. Is this holiday? Easter term, that's when your classes are. Okay. Your holiday, it will mention term break. Okay. What does Michaelmas term means? I'm not too sure on that. Please get in touch with us and we'll explain to you once we see what the document is. Yeah. Can I choose to go to UK by next year, but still do all the classes and exam online? Well, it really depends on what is the program that you're planning to enroll. As Rishka has already mentioned, not all programs are being offered online completely because some of the programs require you to be in the UK for them, for practicals and things like that. So please get in touch with us so that we can tell you whether you can start your program. You definitely can start your program online. However, whether you can complete the whole year or not, do get in touch so that we can check with the department and see. Okay. Next question. Hi, Miss. How do we pay the £100 deposit? You can pay by credit card, debit card, or TT transfer. Normally, credit or debit is what we encourage. Okay. Next question. Is there an approximate date for accommodation deadline, or is it individual to each and every student's offer? It is individual to each and every student. So if they've made you an offer earlier, they expect to reply earlier. Okay. Would this webinar be saved and sent to us? Yes, it is being recorded and we will try and send you a copy of it. Okay. Law miss. Okay. Yeah. Law students, you would be able to start your program online for this year, do a whole year, and you can go over to the UK for the next year. Yes, it is possible. I think I've addressed all the questions. Miss, I mean, when do we pay the £100 deposit? Well, if you have been given your contract already, you have accepted your contract. You can, there is the information there on how to make the £100 deposit. Okay, so you can start making your payment. All right. So I think we have addressed all the questions so far, but again, as I said, we only have about 11 minutes left. So thank you so much, everyone, for being so patient, for being online for 4 hours. It's not easy, I know. It's a whole lot of information, but again, it's not a bye-bye from us. This is just the start. A lot of you now will get in touch with us, and as soon as you fly to UK, you'll forget all about us. Don't do that, all right? Because you will eventually need some assistance or so. Especially, this is for parents. Please make sure you have our contact details. You can always get in touch with us, even if your child goes to UK and totally forgets about you. Don't worry, we won't forget about you. Be in touch with us, okay? So I need to thank my wonderful colleagues Rishka and Dashini for arranging this. It was amazing. Thank you so much. I know Sarah and Nur Farhana. Thank you so much for your wonderful insights. That's so helpful. Sarah Ching, our global ambassador. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate all the assistance that you all have provided. That's so useful. Stephen, thank you so much. That was a very good presentation.
Thank you, Stephen.
We will pass it all to all the students, okay? And we will get them to get in touch with you. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and we look forward to seeing all of you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining in and staying true.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. See you in Aba. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
See you in Aba. That's right.
See you in Aba.
All right. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone, and the rest of the weekend.
Okay, I'm going to end the session. See
Thanks,
you guys
Miss.
later. Bye.
See you. Bye.